Chiefs Kingdom, ACU crew, welcome back to another live podcast for that ass. Tonight we got a good one for you. We were invited by walkthemock.com to take part in their annual, this is like the third, fourth year maybe they've done this, their annual content creator draft, mock draft. It's going to be 2 rounds. It's on walkthemock.com. We thought we'd live stream it. We're going to be representing the Chiefs. They picked us to represent the Chiefs. And we're ready. Challenge accepted. We will be the Chiefs. We will be picking number 32 and number 64. The mock goes live sometime around 8 o'clock. I just wanted to get on here, talk to you guys for just a few minutes. There are guys that you will know from the content creation space, be it YouTube, Twitter, wherever else. I'm sure you guys know Goat House. You guys have to know Bingle. I know you guys, some of you guys know Bro Schmo. So many people in here. Let me go through some of these guys and see if you guys know any of these guys. We got Blake Allen Murphy, Revenge of the Birds, Bryce Dow from Sideline Scout. We got Wills, the Cover One podcast, the Goat House YouTube channel, the Dogs podcast, Cleveland, Let's Talk Broncos, No Flags Film, the Bullpen, the Blue Stable, all chiefed up, yours truly, Bro Schmo. We've even got Destin Adams is going to be in this one from the Blue Stable. Destin Adams, I'm sure you guys will know him. He's the one that said that the Chiefs were pretty much a lock to be trading L'Jarius Sneed to the Colts. He's going to be in this draft. He's going to be doing the Colts. So yeah, it's going to be fun, man. We're all going to do it. So we usually take mock drafts as in, what would Brett Veach do? What would Brett Veach do? And we try to, if we do a mock draft, we'll say, hey, what does Brett Veach and the Chiefs probably do here? And we pick it. We take our personal players, our board, we take everything aside. And we say, look, it doesn't matter who I like. Who does Brett Veach? Who do we think Brett Veach will like? Tonight, all chiefed up is in the wheelhouse. Brett Veach ain't picking nothing. This is what it would look like if all chiefed up had control, had the keys to the kingdom for 2 rounds. What would happen could be wild. I'm excited to say it. Steve's not here, if you haven't noticed. He's at work. He's going to get off at 8 o'clock. So hopefully if they don't keep him a little late, he should be rolling in here somewhere around 8:15 to 8:30ish. Let's hope that he gets here on time. I'd like him to pick some picks with me. I'd like him to talk it out. Plus it helps me go through this. It's going to be hard to look at the board, talk to you guys, but I want to do all this. I think it's a fun exercise. You guys get to see kind of an inside. We don't get to see the inside of a draft room, right? I want to see the inside of the draft room. I think it'd be so awesome to be a fly on the wall watching Brett Veach and the Chiefs do what they do on draft night. This is kind of like it. It's kind of not. I mean, it's not high stakes or anything, but you'll see how we're talking about it and what we're going to do and what me and Steve would do if we were the GM of the Chiefs for 2 rounds. So it's going to be kind of crazy. Thought you guys would enjoy seeing that rather than just recording it and then making a video out of it. Now we can just talk throughout and it'll be fun. Appreciate you guys being here tonight. It's a little early. We usually go live around 10 p.m. Eastern time, 9 p.m. Central. But because of this mock draft being so early in the night, it starts at 8 p.m. our time, which is 7 p.m. your time. We're just going to go live through that. So appreciate you being here. Hit that like button for me. Push this out to more Chiefs fans. If you think anybody would have fun watching this kind of content, share it up. Be it on Twitter, be it on YouTube, be it on Facebook. Who cares? Click the share button for me. Hit that like button. If you're new here, hit that sub button. Appreciate it. How you guys doing tonight? I want to talk to you guys for just a little bit before I jump in, just in case it gets a little wild, I'm going to go ahead and jump in. Let me go ahead and share this with you guys. I'll share this up. And you guys can see what we got. Everybody's going to get to see everything that we do. So when it comes time to make sure this is showing, this is it. So we are in. Everything here, by the way, is live. You can do trades. You can do anything. We have a chat room. We got the room chat so we can go in here. 49ers, Chiefs, Ravens, anyone want to trade up to 61. The Lions are already trying to trade off their 2nd round pick. We don't even know who's there. Okay. So what are they doing? What's Dose of Lions doing? Dose of Dion. What's this cat doing? Trying to trade a 2nd round pick before the draft's even started. Come on now. Come on. But yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. How you guys doing tonight? Let me go through the chat here and catch up with everybody, see what's going on. What's up, Chiefer? Appreciate you being here, my boy. Ya Real says, I'm still on Jordan Morgan only if they trade up. So you think so we only take Jordan Morgan if you want me to trade up? If I sit at 32 and he's there, we won't take him. Deal. Orion. Offensive tackle, then best available. If Patrick stays upright, then we'll figure out the rest. A lot of people are thinking offensive tackle might be the way to go, and a lot of people are saying, look, Hollywood Brown, still just a one-year deal. Maybe we need to look at that. I can see it from all different angles. I personally think the defensive line, if you're not, I think they may sign back Mike Dana. Let's hope. But they might not. It's not been, it's not been worked out just yet, so we may need somebody that can get after the passer a little bit, in my opinion. Maybe not. Jimmy says Joe Alt is going to go number 5 to the Chargers. That's a good guess. Joe Alt's going to be a top 10 pick. If he's not, these creators are crazy. Gary said he heard Alt's stock is dropping. I don't know if I would say it's dropping. I would think people are throwing around a lot of smoke screens trying to get it to drop. There's probably somebody like number 10 trying to hope, maybe, I don't know, maybe Chicago's trying to get them to drop to number 9. Who knows? Cole, what's up, brother? He says either wide receiver or offensive line. Macca says, I would trust Mike Williams to pick my draft before any other content creator. Thank you. All Chiefed Up was picked by Walk the Mock to represent. We've worked with them before. They know that we are big into the draft. We picked last year for them. I think we picked last year. It was last year or the year before. But yeah, they trust it. I trust it. I'm ready to do it. Jesse said, are they doing trades? Yes, sir. You can do trades. So every team gets 2 minutes on the clock. Now, the thing about that is I've got, you'll be monitoring draft boards. And if we see some players maybe falling around, hey, I'm not opposed to trading up if I need to trade up. But this is going to be the problem. Since it's only a 2-round mock, a lot of people aren't going to want to get rid of their picks because if they can get a 3rd and a 4th and a 5th, if somebody could try to go all the way up into the top 10 and trade off their day 2 and day 3 picks because they don't care. We're not picking after pick 2, right? So after round 2, so there may be some stupid trades. People may not take trades. I mean, think about it. Why would you take trades that you don't even get to pick? Like, people want to pick. They want to get their content out there, want to show how smart they are. So yeah, it may be a rough one. If a good tackle were to fall maybe into the mid rounds, I would consider it, but I'm probably going to have to give up that 2nd round pick, which means we get to pick one player. Okay. So is that a good pick? Possibly. I mean, if a Joe Alt were to fall to like 10, 15, maybe I could swindle out, I don't know if would the Chiefs even do that? I don't know. And it doesn't matter what the Chiefs would do. It's what I would do. So I'd have to think about it, but we'll see. I tell you what I am open to doing. I am open to trading out of the 1st round if somebody was to come up and grab a quarterback or something like that. I will come out of the 1st round and I may take 2 2nd round picks or just pick 2 in the 2nd, as long as I can keep 2 picks. That's what I'm shooting for, is at least 2 picks, 1 per round or 2 in the 2nd. I would be fine with it. So we shall see. I appreciate you guys again being here. Appreciate you guys being here. I see so many familiar faces. Brenda, how are you? Brian Parrott's here. There we go. Mike Burton, Hippie Cypriot. Hippie, I hope you got your stuff in the mail, and I hope it didn't get broken. She won the what was it? It was the little Chiefs sand dollar that we had got in Clearwater, Florida, and give it away. So I hope that arrived well. Rob Miller says I want AD Mitchell. That'd be a good pick. Chris Wright's in the house. What's up, Chris? And Wink says best player available. It's kind of what I'm thinking, Wink. I'm a best player available kind of guy. I think it's weird if you're sitting there, at 32. It's hard to target anybody at 32. Why? You don't know who's going to be sitting there. So I don't know if I want to give up a lot of my draft. I definitely don't want to give up day 3 and day 4 picks. I could try it. Nobody's going to accept it. So yeah, it's just something like that. Let's go back in here and see if anybody's talking. Walk the Mock says, welcome guys. Have a great time. I'll be here to answer the questions. Let's go. We got the Falcons at 8 trying to trade down. San Francisco looks like they might be good on some kind of trade. Dose of Dion is now trying to get rid of 29. So apparently the Lions don't want to pick today. They just joined this to trade everything out. Good strategy. You can't go wrong when you don't pick. Alex, representing Pittsburgh, says Steelers considering moving down from pick number 20. Isn't it crazy? Because look, these are all content creators, guys. Like, you guys are getting to see an inside look of like some of the stuff we'll see and some of the people we talk to, right? So these are other content creators that cover these other teams all the time, the same way we cover the Chiefs. And you guys will look to us and be like, you guys, you kind of got your finger on the pulse of what the Chiefs are doing. This is a very good exercise that you guys get to see behind the scenes of big content creators. So in the world of Atlanta, in the world of San Francisco, in the world of Detroit, in the world of Pittsburgh, it's very possible they're hearing these same kind of scenarios about Pittsburgh wanting to get out of number 20 and move down. So maybe we can consider Pittsburgh at number 20 as a spot to move up from, right? So if a big offensive tackle were to fall and maybe you can get to number 20, that's pretty good. We got to remember that. The Bucks looking to move up if the guy is there. So the Bucks they've got somebody in mind that they might want to move up for. Okay. The Lions are now trying to maybe trade up for number 8, or unless they're just trying to get some info. The Seahawks say the 16th pick's available. So all these dudes are wanting to move if possible, which means these guys have definitely heard within their rumor mills that this might be possible. The Vegas Raiders say they may want to move back from 13. Why? I think they're wanting to get Michael Penix, and Penix is 13's a little rich on a little PP Penix. I think it's a little rich there. Pittsburgh's now maybe offering with Tampa Bay. Look at that. Got a little inside knowledge here. Seattle says he'd be interested for the 1st and 2nd. Let's talk near the pick. Chicago's trying to get rid of it. This is funny. Chicago doesn't even want, Goat House comes in here and doesn't even want to pick Caleb Williams because it's so like anticlimactic. He's trying to trade the pick. That's crazy. That's hilarious. Dude, it's so funny watching these dudes work. I'm just going to sit back and watch it. I'm not going to be, these people are going to be trade happy and crazy and all kinds of stuff, man. I'm just not one of those people, man. I'm not going to probably move up. I'll consider moving back, but I mean, come on. These people are crazy. This is why average everyday fans do not, they're not in charge of franchises. They're too trade happy. All they want to do is trade. It's hilarious. Like, they just want to be in the spotlight for a minute. It's funny. Seems like all these guys could probably get a job in Denver, the way they just want to win the offseason every year and not provide any substance on the field. So it's kind of funny. I'm just going to sit back and let them trade. It looks like we're ready to go. Here we are, guys. The Chicago Bears are on the clock, and we're off. We're off and ready to go. Appreciate you guys being here. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree with who these guys are picking. If there's anybody you want to see me, possibly move up for. Just do anything, baby. We got Flapjack kicking it off tonight with a 5-bomb. Appreciate you, Flapjack. The 5-bomb helps me tonight, baby. He says, go get number 8, Big D-Wag. Who's number 8, Big D? Wait, am I missing something? D-Wag. At least you didn't say anus, okay? At least you didn't say go trade for anus. So the Bears took Drake May. Okay, so Goat House already screws the entire draft up by taking Drake May. I mean, come on. They're never taking Drake May over Caleb Williams. You just let Washington Commanders get the hometown kid without trading nothing. This is insanity. This is crazy. The first pick in the draft already has been screwed up. Congrats, Goat House. This is why normal people, and why we say every niche, every team, everybody has these content creators that are just out of control. You've got to be out of control and out of your mind to be a Chicago Bears content creator and not be thrilled with the Caleb Williams pick, and to not at least say, I might not be thrilled with it personally, but, you know, let's take Drake May, number 1, by the way. Drake May. Matter of fact, I just moved Drake May down my draft board today. I think I moved him down a spot, or I'm considering it. This is crazy. Yeah, you're right, Tommy. It took 1 pick. This is why it's so crazy, and you cannot get accurate counts of what's going to happen on draft night, because there's just no way Drake May is going number 1 over Caleb Williams if the Bears do not trade out. Like, you're out of your mind. That's insanity. It's insane. But to be honest, I don't care. Is that going to get them clicks when they pop that up? Like, do Bears country not like Caleb Williams? I find that hard to believe. Are they going to get more clicks by saying, hey guys, we took Drake May number 1? Like, do you think you're smarter than Ryan Poles by doing that? No. It's crazy, bro. Crazy. Tyler said it does sound like a Bears move, to be honest. Yeah, if they could screw it up, they probably will. Bears guys trying to get a reaction rather than make a realistic. Exactly, Maccaberry. And this is why these are so difficult to, like, this is why it's hard to take any mock draft seriously if you do not, like, actually take your ego out of it and just put out what's best. Which is why me and Steve, we do our best to take all of our personal thoughts about players and take them out and just look at, like, what the team needs are, what we think Veach would do, and look at the little track record of it. So it's not always the sexy pick. It's not always the one guys want or things like that, but we try to see it from that angle. Tonight, though, this is going to be from an all chiefed up angle. If all chiefed up pick the Chiefs draft, I guess if Goat House picks for the Chicago Bears, they're getting Drake May. You guys are worse off than Caleb Williams, by the way, with Drake May. Firmly believe that one. So, yeah, let's hope Goat House isn't the Bears GM anytime soon. Okay, so let's catch up on this one. We have Caleb Williams going number 2, obviously. Jaden Daniels will go number 3. The pick is in for the Vikings. They have moved up the board, and this is going to be J.J. McCarthy, no doubt. This would be crazy if it's not. There it is. So, look, the Vikings actually did something proper. I'm going to give them a fire emoji reaction. You know, you want to stick to, you want to show your fans what you think the team's going to do. That's a good one. Here we go. Is this going to be Joe Alt or is it going to be Malik Neighbors? I think it's going to be Neighbors. Wait, Marvin Harrison Jr. wasn't even off the board yet. Okay, so yeah, it was Marvin Harrison Jr. Boy, if they let Marvin Harrison Jr. fall into the lap of the Chargers, I'm going to be irate. This is what happens when you get bad teams drafting. Then again, you got up to number 4. The Cardinals got out. So if the Cardinals do move out, the Chargers are going to get Marvin Harrison Jr. to fall in his lap because you will have, it doesn't matter what order they go in. I know Goat House screwed this up, but you will have Williams, May, Daniels, McCarthy could go 1 through 4. It's crazy to think that. But I personally don't think the Cardinals should move out at number 4. If you want Marvin Harrison Jr., you need to stick. Because if you move out at number 4, yeah, you can get another guy, or maybe you can work it back up the board, but you're not going to get that big, you know, that big Marvin Harrison Jr. pick if you just sit still at 4. So I think it gets a little wild at times here. Let's see what's happening here. Let's see what's happening. The Giants are on the clock, so we know the Giants. Bengals actually running the Giants. Bengals usually pretty spot on with his analysis. Let's see what he does. I think it would be stupid not to sit here and take Malik Neighbors. Your quarterbacks are not on the board. So if you wanted to move on, from Daniel Jones, they're just not here. So I think you got to look at tackle, you got to look at wide receiver, and I think you have to get them some playmakers now. I think Bengal has to go Malik Neighbors. Some people have Roma Dunze slightly above Neighbors. If you took Roma Dunze, I wouldn't be that crazy, but I still think it's got to be Neighbors here. I don't know what Bengals doing. Is he trying to work out a trade? Everybody's trying to work out a trade all the time. Look, he's going to miss his pick, and then they're just going to take somebody crazy for him. Picks in. If it's not Malik Neighbors, he's high. And there it was, right there. There it was. So there's your second one. Again, I don't think it's crazy to say Rome Odunze is better than Malik Neighbors. I just don't see it. I think Malik Neighbors has more upside. I think Malik Neighbors provides you a little more spark. I think he's closer to the OBJ kind of pick that they had, which was one of the last elite playmaking wide receivers they've had in New York. I don't get it. I guess Bengals just doesn't like Malik Neighbors for some reason, so here we go. We're going to have a run on just craziness. You would think the Titans, it's a lock here. I mean, you got Joe Alt sitting right in your lap. I mean, come on. Let me see who's picking for the Titans here. The Titans are being picked by Sam Fallon, Phalen, from A to Z Sports. Okay, here we go. A to Z Sports. Sam Fallon. I'm going to call him Fallon. Could be Phelan. I apologize if it's wrong. But Sam Fallon from A to Z Sports. You guys know our boy Charles Goldman got a job at A to Z Sports. A to Z Sports, pretty well-known group. Let's see how good they are. You should have your finger on the pulse. We all know that Tennessee's got to protect. They got to protect the QB they got, Will Levis. The dude didn't have anybody protecting him at UK. He didn't have nobody protecting him last year. How about you just protect him? You've got to, you run to get Joe Alt right here. You run to take this guy. What is taking so long? You run to take Joe Alt, or you run to take Malik, whichever one you want to go to. It's an embarrassment of riches right here. But I think you take Joe Alt and you go to the bank, and it looks like Malik Neighbors may end up falling down to Chicago. So Chicago's going to pair Malik Neighbors and Drake May. Woo. There it is. Malik Neighbors. People just don't want to take linemen, man. Lineman's not a sexy pick. People don't want to do it. Please stop. Don't take any tackles. Let Joe Alt fall to me at 32. These guys are out of their minds, man. You do not pass up Joe Alt right here. I love Malik Neighbors, but I think you got to protect Will Levis. I think Joe Alt was the pick there. Macca says trade up to get Alt. How funny would that be? You want me to try it? We won't get the pick again. Who do I trade up with? Oh, the Falcons said they would trade up. I would have to give up this year's first round. I'd have to give up next year's first round. I'd probably have to give up my second round pick this year. I'd have to give up 1 and 2. Watch this. I'm not going to do it. I just want to see what happens if... Let me see. Where do I get to do the trade? I don't even know how to do it. Here it is. Trades. Let me just see what it would take. Select a trade partner with Atlanta. Let's see. Our first round and our second round. We'd have to go a first round next year, and then for their number 8. Oh, it don't say. It doesn't say. But if we traded up to get Alt here, this would be hilarious. Steve would come in. He'd be so pissed off that I just traded all the picks. Would you guys be that mad, though? Hey, I don't know if I'd be that mad to have Alt. That's funny, man. That's hilarious. Should we do it? Wait, heads up. Have they traded it? The Falcons have traded to the Bengals? The Bengals are coming up to take Joe Alt? Oh, daggone. I should have went ahead and ripped the Bengals off. Maybe they're not taking Joe Alt, are they? They did. Hey, I have to say, that's something desperate the Bengals would do. Can we see what they traded? The Bengals have now give up all their picks this draft. They had to have. Just come down and see if they're picking in the second round. If they've still got a second round pick, there's collusion going on. Yep, the Bengals are out. He just decided to trade this year's first, next year's first, and the second round this year, and just got rid of here it is. They give them their first and their second to come up to 8. That's not enough. That's not enough in real life. Ain't no way in hell you're moving up from 18 to 8, and all you're doing is giving up your second round pick. Ain't gonna happen. You're gonna have to give up a first next year too. So that's a little inaccurate. But congrats, we don't have to look at the Bengals anymore. Who made that trade for the Bengals? Who's the Parker Blake, all Bengals contributor? Parker Blake. He must have had his girlfriend must have got mad at him for being online, and so he's like, "Honey, we'll go to the Cracker Barrel in a moment. Just let me trade for Joe Alt really quick and we'll go." And now he's completely logged off and he's pumped. Yeah, they already have Orlando Brown. Didn't they get another guy on the other side? I'm pretty sure they did. Tommy says, like, I was just going to say, I smell collusion. It's collusion out here, baby. Gary, yeah, this format doesn't. It does not. I mean, he could give up the first next year, but it doesn't matter. It just don't. The Bears sit here on the clock. They take Dallas Turner edge. I think Dallas Turner, he's very polarizing for me. I love the fact that he's fast. Like he had a great showing at the combine. 6'3", 247. I feel like he's a little light. He did run a 4.46 with a 1.54 10-yard split and a 40.5-inch vertical. Very athletic. But do I think he's going to come in? And look, if you get a guy in the top 10, even the top 15, he's going to need to have double-digit sack potential right off the rip. Do I think Dallas Turner has that? I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure he does. I think I moved him down my big board just a little bit, just recently. He was at number 8 on my big board, and he's now moved down to number 13 on my big board. I just can't get behind Dallas Turner as a complete lock. Will he be a good player? Maybe. But he kind of reminds me, who was the cat last year? Who was the cat last year that sounds like, or that dropped for Georgia from the outside, and he ended up going to the Eagles late, and then he only played like 10 snaps all season. He was a little pass rusher. Noah? Wait, what was his name? I know one of you guys got me in the chat, baby. Come on. Who's that little guy from... He was a pass rusher on the other. Was it Noah Smith or something like that? Nolan Smith. There you go, Gary, my boy. Nolan. Yeah, Nolan Smith. He kind of reminds me of that a little bit. Like he's fast off the edge and stuff, but it's like, is he going to be able to set the edge? Is he going to help you in the run game? I don't know. And you've seen Nolan fall. And then he just didn't do much. So last year was basically just a sit year, for Nolan. Let's see. Goat House does take Dallas Turner. Okay, we've seen that one. And then Rich took Brock Bowers tight end. That's a good pick by the Jets. I think the Jets are just like, look, we're just going to take our chances on the older guys. Morgan Moses. We're going to take our chance on Tyron Smith. Let's hope they stay healthy. Let's hope Vera Tucker stays healthy this year. And let's just go for a nice little piece for Aaron Rodgers with Brock Bowers. You can't fault it. I think that's a fine pick. Okay, the Cardinals now. The Cardinals got rid of all their top wide receivers, which is why I don't think they should trade out of number 4. You lost everybody there, so who did they get now? Leatu Latu, edge. I think his medicals should have checked out. It was something about his neck. But I think they're fine. But I'll say moving out of 4, you could have had Marvin Harrison Jr. Now you've got Leatu Latu, who's a fine pass rusher. He's a fine pass rusher. I don't know if he's elite. Okay. So you lost an elite wide receiver for a fine pass rusher with some neck injuries. This is why I don't know if the Cardinals fall out of number 4. This is the stuff that I think about when I'm doing mocks and things. And this is why a lot of people say, hey man, you guys are crazy. What's up, Pops? Pops in the house. Pops, what do you think? You think the Cardinals are going to trade out of 4 and lose out on Marvin Harrison Jr. to fall back to number 11, miss all 3 good wide receivers and end up with Leatu Latu, a guy with a neck injury? Come on. You don't move out of number 4 if all you're getting is Leatu Latu. There's no way. There's just no way. No way. I don't see it happening in real life. But of course, this isn't a real life mock draft. Let's just be completely honest. They took Drake May at number 1. You got to be high. I don't know where Steve is. Steve should be getting here any minute now. He may be rolling in right about the time I go to pick. Just to anger me. He's going to come in and try to argue me. I've been here putting in all the groundwork. Been looking through all these stupid picks. Been talking to all you guys. Been putting the groundwork in to get me a good pick. And then Steve's going to come in and run it. Karth, what other picks did they get? Are we talking about the Cardinals? Yeah, let's go look and see what the Cardinals got. Good night. They got a bunch. They got 2 first-rounders. Okay, we'll see what Denver got. Are they going to take Bo Nix? I think you take Bo Nix right here. I really do. They took Oli Fashanu from Penn State. Okay. That's not a bad pick. I didn't know tackle was a big need for the Broncos at number 12. So I've learned that. I learned that. If Zach, let's see who Zach, where he works for. Denver. Zach Seegers, Let's Talk Broncos. I guess that's a podcast or a YouTube channel. Let's Talk Broncos. So if he's got his finger on the pulse there, then it's possible that they could be looking at a tackle. I didn't know that. I still think they need to take Bo Nix. I've been watching more Bo Nix film. I just re-released my stuff, and I've actually moved Bo Nix up in my big board, and I get it. Bo Nix is now sitting at number 40. He was outside my top 50. He's now my number 40. Look, if you don't get a second-round pick, Sean Payton has to have a quarterback. If you don't have a second-round pick, I am fine just taking Bo Nix at 12. Matter of fact, I might just trade down, get yourself a second-round pick back, and then get Bo Nix at the end of the first round. I think Denver's easy. If you can't get up, you can't get McCarthy, and you can't get. If you think Bo Nix is too high right there, move back, get your second-round pick back. I think that's an easy way to do it, guys. I tell you who I'm eyeing. I'm eyeing Troy Fautanu. I love Troy Fautanu. I think Troy Fautanu is. Before I go to Troy Fautanu, let's look for Karth really quick. So they got the first round 11, first round 23. They got a 5th round and a 7th round and a first round next year. That's insane. Maybe they could take that one. Maybe they could. Okay. Maybe you do take that one then. That's a lot. Looks like the Falcons have now moved back up with the Raiders. They swapped their first and they get a 2nd and a 4th. So who do they come back up to take? They have to be taking Quinyon Mitchell, right? Nope. They take Jared Verse. I don't know if Jared Verse is a player. He kind of reminds me of, I kind of feel like there might be a little bust factor with Jared Verse because he's so tight in his hips coming around the edge. Yikes, it's trade censor out here, guys. The Saints just traded with the Jaguars. They give up first and a set. Oh, so they traded first, so 14, they moved back to 17, and they got a 4th round pick. Well, at least people are taking actual stuff because even though they're not picking in the 4th round, they still took it. I thought a lot of people might decline trades like that and be like, no, I'll only do it if you give me a 2nd round pick. That way they get to pick it. Troy Fautanu, though, by the way, is the guy I'm watching. If Troy Fautanu was to fall to 20, if I feel like I can get him at 20, we already seen where the Steelers said they may want to trade up. I think this is Quinyon Mitchell. They've been getting rid of all their corners. I think they take a lockdown corner here. They took Terry and Arnold over Mitchell. I'm completely fine with that. I do think Mitchell will be the first one off the board. He's had a better off season, but Terry and Arnold is a fine pick. So they needed that. Yeah, Alex and the Steelers already said they may want to get out of there. I would move up from 32 to 20. I don't think I have to give up my 2nd round pick this year. I could maybe give up a 3rd and come up. I may try that. If Fautanu gets down here, let's see I don't think the Rams need a guard or a tackle. And I think he's a tackle. He's definitely a tackle in my mind. Fautanu is beautiful. He's got the best footwork of anybody. He's my number 2 rated tackle, and he's fell this far. Oli Fashanu was my number 5, and he's already got picked. But look, J.C. Latham's still on the board. Talise Fuanga. Still a lot of guys here. So I could still get me a big tackle. But if I can get Fautanu, dude, I think he's a top 10 projected pick. 6'4", 317, runs a 5-second 40-yard dash, a 1.71 10-yard split, which is good. 32.5-inch vertical, and he's got 34.5-inch arms. He can definitely play left tackle. He's serviceable inside and out. I love it. Pop says that he thinks they will take the tackle. Well, he wants to come down. He said he wanted to come down. Fautanu is not a guard. He can play all the way up and down the line. So he is a guard, but he can't play tackle, and I think he will play tackle. He's got 34.5-inch arms. He's got plenty big enough arms. His footwork is beautiful. Yeah, he can play everywhere, but don't LOL if you don't KNOW that he can play tackle, because he can. So I will say, Gary says Fuanga is better. offensive tackle. They're actually talking about kicking Fuanga down in the guard. So I think it's just all what it is. I think Andy Heck does a good job with either of them, and I think they could both play left tackle. I really do. J.C. Latham, yeah. J.C. Latham's good. I think he's a right tackle kind of guy. He says he can play left tackle. I really like J.C. Latham. J.C. Latham's my number 3. I got him right above Fuanga because I believe at 6'6", 342, he's a little bit bigger. He's got a little bit more experience, and I think he's more ready to go like right now. I think he's more ready to go right now. I think Fuanga is kind of falling a little bit. Fuanga's only got 33 and an 1/8 inch arms. So he's barely over the 33-inch arm. They said Fatanu didn't have long enough arms. Fatanu's got 34.5-inch arms. He's got almost a full 1.5 inches on him. So, yeah, Fatanu is the guy. Fatanu's 100% the best, in my opinion. 1,000%. Chief Kelsey, yeah, you guys, I get it, but we're not drafting everything, and these guys might just give up something. Like, so it doesn't matter. Like, the point is like, it don't have to be 100% perfect. It's just what they take. We're only drafting 2 rounds. So, I mean, honestly, this wasn't enough to get up either. From 18 to 8, a second-round pick was not enough to get up. So, that's not the point. The point is we're just trying to move the board a little. Fatanu's my guy, though. If I'm in charge, I'm taking Fatanu. So, I'm going to keep watching it. I think he goes right here. I think if Seattle doesn't try to move out of this pick, I think they would be stupid not to take Troy Fatanu right here. He's from Washington. You know, he stays in state. He can play every position, so he can play guard. There he went. He went. It's only smart. Fatanu's the best lineman. He's got the best footwork out of everybody in this class. He's a flat-out beast, man. What a beautiful pick. And it's the unsexy pick for Seattle because I feel like that's the overall landing spot. I honestly think he could go higher than 16. I really do. I think you could take him over Oli Fashanu from Penn State. Oli doesn't really strike me as a guy that's like I feel super confident in to put at left tackle. I think he should probably play right. And honestly, he's not got a lot stronger in 4 years at Penn State. I'm just not a big fan. I just love Fatanu's footwork. It's beautiful. New Orleans takes Fuanga. Okay, yeah, they have to take one. So look, see, they got Fuanga on here as an interior. It's all about that arm. It's all about that arm length. Can he do it at 33? Yeah, probably. Probably. You probably do it. Vegas, what do they take? Nate Wiggins. Nate Wiggins is a corner I do not love. I just cannot get behind Clemson corners. I don't like them. I just don't think they're very good. I think Wiggins is just a little too. He's just too small. He's too small. 6'1", 173. He's lanky. He's going to get thrown around. There's not even a corner on the board. Every corner in the top 5, top 10 is at least 10 pounds heavier than he is. I know he's fast, but his vert, I don't know. His vert's not even like overly impressive. It's a 36-inch vert. That's not that impressive. Max Melton had a 40.5-inch vertical. Good Lord, Elijah Jones out of Boston College had a 42.5-inch vertical. It's not that impressive. I just think he's going to get picked on a lot. I would be completely happy with him taking Nate Wiggins. I think Patrick Mahomes eat that guy up all the time. Tommy says Mike's a wizard. I'd like to be a little bit of a wizard. I wish we could get this going. Let's see what's happening here. I spoke Fatanu into, okay, didn't see that coming. Aaron Donald goes out, so you get the Aaron Donald-esque type of player. Still on the fence with Johnny Newton here. I think he might be big enough to do well. We'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. Yeah, HD Chiefs fan says, what are you thinking for your pick at this point? So let's look at it together. Right now, good night. J.C. Latham's still on the board. I mean, it would be hard-pressed to not look at. I would probably look at Brian Thomas there. I think he's got the most upside. I think he's in the second tier. I think Adonai Mitchell kicks off the third tier. So I think Brian Thomas. Yeah, I mean, Brian Thomas and A.D. Mitchell are pretty close. I've got them ranked 14 and 16. Well, that's the ranking on here, so they're pretty similar. I think Brian Thomas got bigger upside because AD's got a little bit of a could have a little bit of an attitude. I don't know. It's tough. This is why it makes it hard because you don't talk to him. J.C. Latham being on the board, in my opinion, I don't know if he fits what we do. That's tough. That's tough. Tyler Guyton's still on the board. We got plenty of tackles. Mims, that's another big body guy. I kind of feel, is he going to take Mims right here? Steelers going to do it? Yep, they did. There it is. I'm fine with that. I think Mims has got a little bit of a Mims got a little bit of an injury problem. He's only played about 800 snaps in college, maybe something like that. Not a lot. He's very green at the position. He holds his weight really well, but you seen him get injured at the combine. He's just constantly injured. You can't keep him on the field. Broshmo's on the clock. He's going with the Dolphins. I know where Broshmo's going. He may be thinking about J.C. Latham here. He may be thinking about Byron Murphy, but I have a hunch he's going to go Graham Barton. Graham Barton or JPJ would be just the pick. But if I know Broshmo like I think I know Broshmo, I'll clip this. I'll clip it and send it to him. If I know Broshmo the way I know Broshmo, I think he takes Graham Barton. Now, do I think that he thought J.C. Latham would be on the board here? No. So he may consider that. He may be considering J.C. Latham. So I think it's between Latham, Byron Murphy, and Graham Barton here. I think that's the three he's choosing from. Is he looking to get out of the pick? I don't know. Do we think we're right? Do we think Mike's right? We'll see. Pop says you take Byron Murphy or I'll send you to the pit. I'll think about it. He's on a short list for sure. No, this is going live right now, man. You can actually... There might be like a walk the mock. Maybe you can go and walk the mock and actually like view it. I think it may be Graham Barton. It's J.C. Latham or Barton. He could surprise us with a defensive tackle. Yep, there it was. Byron Murphy. Okay, yeah, it's because Byron Murphy, if I'm not mistaken, he's about number 19 on Broshmo's big board. So, okay. And look, he was higher on our board too. He was a little higher than Graham Barton. So I think he was going between Latham, Barton, and the big guy. He went ahead and took Murphy because they did lose Christian Wilkins. I think that's a good pick. There you go, Pops. You can't get Byron Murphy now. So, dude, I'm loving the fact that Brian Thomas Jr. could be falling to us. Dude, if you heard Brian Thomas Jr., if he gets a guy on his hip, he's beating him. This dude is insane. 68 catches, 1,200 yards, and 17 touchdowns. 17 yard per catch average. He's flat out awesome. I don't want to trade up for a wide receiver. I don't think I want to trade up. At this point, is it crazy to trade up for J.C. Latham? I think he's a right tackle only. He says he can play left tackle. Don't know if I'm comfortable with it, so I don't think I want to trade up for him. Don't think I want to trade up for him. Brian Thomas Jr. I would consider. If you're even, he's leaving with Brian Thomas Jr. If you are even with him, he is gone. You are not catching him. That kid he solidified it too in the at the combine. He's my number 4 rated wide receiver. He's 6'3", 209, run a 4.33. That's elite. A 1.5 10-yard split. That's faster than Tyreek Hill. That's elite. A 38.5-inch vert. That is elite. 53.8% catch rate. Contested catch rate. That is elite. Would love it. These guys got to take a corner, right? Yep, so they're going to take Cooper DeJean. Oh, man, I'm getting tempted. To come up for Brian Thomas. I'm getting tempted. We're in the range. Let's see. I bet he goes here. The Cardinals. The Cardinals will probably take him here. If he gets by the Cardinals, I think he's good with the Cowboys. He's good with the Packers. I think he's good here. I think you just got to get in front of I think you got to get in front of Buffalo. So look, I don't really want to trade. If he gets by the Cardinals, I'm starting to look at Green Bay, Dallas, the Bucks, or Destin here, and I may come up and take Brian Thomas Jr. above the Bills. That may be my plan. I love Brian Thomas Jr. I'm a firm believer. You guys know how I am with wide receivers, and that's a guy I have a good feeling about him. Got a good feeling. Mike Burton says, empty the cupboard before Steve. Yeah, I'm about to just trade everybody. Let's go. We're trading everybody and everything for J.C. Latham. Let's go. Gary said there will be receivers at 64 that are the same quality as you'll find at 32. There will not be another Darius Robinson with his build. I totally agree. I think defensive end definitely is not as deep as wide receiver. I don't personally think the Chiefs go wide receiver. Yeah, I don't personally think the Chiefs will go wide receiver in round one. I mean, they could. It wouldn't like surprise me or shock me or anything, but I feel like Brett Veach just okay. The Cardinals have traded, it looks like, to the Lions. The Lions gonna come out and take J.C. Latham or Graham Barton. Wait, where are they going here? Don't they have to get somebody to fill in for their center? Their center's been taking a beating, man. He's almost retired by this point. Who's he going to take? Okay, but look, the Cardinals are down. So if the Cardinals go, Brian Thomas Jr. might be it. I don't have to trade my second-round pick to get him. I can trade a third-round pick and come up at this point. I know some people's going to be mad at that. But I just think Brian Thomas Jr. is in a different tier. You've got your top four, you got your top three, and then you got Brian Thomas Jr. in a tier kind of by himself. You can maybe put A.D. Mitchell in that tier. And then after that, I believe you go down to a third tier. I believe Brian Thomas's upside's a lot different. Yeah, I think he's even a lot more upside than A.D. Mitchell. I'll say they're similar. So I'll give Brian Thomas and A.D. Mitchell that tier 2. And then after that, you're looking at McConkey and Worthy and Leggett and Coleman, Ricky Pearsall, people like that. So we'll see. Go get Brian Thomas, $4.99. Dude, I'm telling you, I think that's a good one. They may take Jackson Powers Johnson here. Graham Barton, maybe? What? They just traded up a year ago and grabbed... Okay, that ain't going to happen, guys. There ain't no way. There ain't no way they're trading up the board and taking a wide receiver. They just did that with Jamison Williams. That ain't even been a year ago. I don't see that happening. I mean, it's a good pick. I don't care who. You might not even need him. He's that good of a pick, but I just don't see that happening. There ain't no way that's happening. You didn't even they wasn't even on. This is why. That's a very, very good example, though, of why. What's up, Steve? Steve's here.
What's up?
Hey, we just seen a very good example of why when you want your guy, you have to go get him. Because Brian Thomas had fell in this draft, and we looked, and we were like, look, if he gets by the Cardinals, the next team on the board that could take him, and maybe the Colts, maybe the Bills. So we were like, if he gets by the Cardinals here, we may trade up and get, we may get him. Brian Thomas Jr., that'd be huge, right?
Right.
But no, the Detroit Lions traded up and took him. The Lions?
Well, they're used to being losers, Mike. They don't understand.
Well, I mean, that was a good pick for a group of losers, I guess.
What would they need him for? I mean, it's not a bad pick, I suppose. They don't have They just lost Josh Reynolds, right? Which I don't think he's very good. So you got
let's see what they give
mega
up.
upgrade there. So what are we sitting here? So I got here before we picked. So that's a beautiful thing.
Here's what they got.
I'm going to come in here and I'm going to take over.
Yeah, that's what we already talked about. I put in on the legwork and you're going to come in and steal the pick.
Yes.
The Cardinals, they traded 21 for 23. They got a round 4 in 2025 and a round 5 pick. And they give up their round 3. So it was a bunch of semantics because we're only picking
Cowboys 2 rounds. Taking Taylor Guyton.
No, J.C. Latham. Latham's still on the board.
What?
He was still on the board.
What's happening here?
Steve, look, the very first pick of the night, the Chicago Bears. The guy that picked for the Chicago Bears took Drake May instead of Caleb Williams.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Why did he ruin the whole draft on purpose?
Ruin the draft first pick. It's insane.
What a troll.
It's funny because I was saying, like, we try to pick everything but what the Chiefs and Brett Veach would do, but I'm kind of doing this the way I would do it. Because this is an insane draft. There ain't no way they're not taking Caleb Williams at number 1. So this whole thing's just asinine in the first place. So yeah, I'm doing what I want to do here. We considered on trading up for we considered at one point, I'll catch you up to date here. We considered moving up if Fatanu didn't get picked here. We were considering moving up into this range and getting Fatanu. But he did go to Washington.
Oh, okay.
Or he did go to Seattle, my bad. And then we thought here they were wanting to get out, but they sit and took Mims. So, we thought if the Cardinals didn't take one at 23, we may come up to Dallas or Green Bay and try to get Brian Thomas Jr., but the Lions screwed the pooch on that one, baby.
So, well, since you're in control of this thing, let me know.
Mitchell.
I kind of want to see what's available. Well, after A.D. Mitchell now.
Yeah, we need to kind of talk through this because you're only going to get 2 minutes on the clock.
Right.
As it sits right now, I mean, there's the board right there. You can see it.
I can't, actually. Let me look. Let me zoom in here. I won't be able to see your all's comments, Mike, so if you want to take care of the comments.
I will. Here you go. You got Graham Barton, Chop Robinson, Tyler Guyton, Jackson Powers Johnson, Tavondre Sweat, Ladd McConkey, Xavier Worthy, Xavier Legette, Kool-Aid, Keon, Darius Robinson, Edgerrin Cooper, Peyton Wilson, Kingsley Suamataia, Bo Nix, Ricky Pearsall. And I mean, we're not going past 41.
Tons of good picks available, though. I mean, we can kind of do whatever the heck we want right now. I mean, we want to go.
I was even considering trading out of the first round if somebody was to offer me a good pick in the second.
Yeah, I mean, with all this on the board, I mean, okay.
Does anybody pick twice in the second here? Wonder if I could snag Carolina's 2-1 and 2-7 and let them come up to 32.
That's only one pick. Are we doing 2 rounds?
It's just 2 rounds, yeah.
Okay.
Let me see. I wonder if the Raiders would give me 11 and 12 to come up and take Penix at the end of the first.
Well, here's what I would consider.
Like, we know the Raiders aren't trading with the Chiefs, but
you're talking about trading back. So here's what I'm thinking. With all these good guys on the board, what if we draft one and then we try to trade up in the second round and get a twofer?
But because that's not going to work. People only get 2 rounds to pick. You think
so
they're going to give up their second round pick? Why would they trade it?
Swap picks with them then.
Yeah, you'd have to do a pick swap to come up or something.
See if we can try. That's something to consider, though.
I would consider a pick swap.
All these names on the board. I mean,
Chucky, he was our first ever ACU mock draft. He was our number 1 pick, and then about one day after we released that,
that's a good pick for Tampa Bay right there.
It went wild. Started spreading throughout everything. Everybody's talking about him now. Glad we could usher that in for everybody. But yes, Suamataia is awesome. We like him a lot.
I like him a lot. Yeah. So
I tell you what, man, the way this whole board, look, we only get 2 rounds, right? But if you look at this, the way the board falls to the Chiefs at 32, you get like those receivers that could be good and they could just be the same old same we've always had. The Xavier Worthy, right?
Yeah, I'm just not
right.
Like, I'm just not a huge fan of him like everybody else.
You get a tackle like Suamataia, he is fine, but I do think you have to team him up with a very good coach, and he's got to get it together. Like, he's not going to come in year 1 and just be a world beater.
Mike Chief Kelsey says that Green Bay has 2 second-round picks.
Yeah, I wonder if they'd come back up in the first round. That'd give us 3 picks. Here goes Xavier Worthy. Good. I'm glad he's not on the board. I hope this happens in real life so we don't have to ever think about the Chiefs doing it at 32.
Dude. Yeah.
I get so tired of hearing that. Like, everybody just mocks a Texas wide receiver to the Chiefs. If it's not him, it's A.D. Mitchell now. I'm just seeing that over and over.
Let's see. I mean, I wouldn't be, like, hurt by it. It'd be, like, intriguing, I suppose. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I'm just not as big on him.
Should we try to trade out and see if See if Green Bay will take them and get 3 second rounders. That might be fun.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Either that or what do you think?
Let's-
you think?
Well, go back.
You think
and
the Raiders would do it? Get 11 and 12?
scroll down the big board real quick. I got to see who all is available. I'll tell you who I got my eye on right now. Probably Leggett, and let's see. I like Kool-Aid, but we don't.
Darius Robinson's definitely on my short list.
Yeah, he's on the short list, and Kingsley.
I think it would be Kingsley, Darius Robinson, and Xavier.
If we go receiver, Xavier Leggett.
I do. Yeah. Well, no. Look, I tell you, I really like Devondre Sweat. I've been thinking about teaming him up on the inside with Chris Jones and all them, and oh my god, that's kind of salivating. He is a big boy at 366.
Don't you be drooling about it,
dude? He gets me a little horned up a little bit. Dude, so athletic at 366. He could be a beast. He really could.
Yeah, man. I don't know. There's some good picks here. So, yeah, maybe you should start entertaining a trade back real quick while we have time.
Gary says in real life, nobody's trading for 32.
Probably not.
If you want a Michael Penix or a Bo Nix on a 5th-year option.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you always get people wanting those kinds of things. So.
Buffalo going to take Xavier Leggett here.
Yeah, they're going to screw us and take Xavier Leggett. Yep, there was. Dude, we've been talking about this for weeks. And
Buffalo's going to take him.
Yeah, Buffalo is already, yeah. I think they do it too. Let's look. Let's see if we've got any trade offers. We got 2 trades coming in. Here we go. We get
the Lions again.
They want us to take their 29.
And they get what?
And we get all this to move up 2 picks. Wait, no, we're giving away all that to move up 2 picks. No, get out of here.
Reject Not happening.
They want us to take 29 again.
They want to pick.
We don't need to come up. We're not coming up, bro. So we're not doing that.
Get out of town.
Reject it. Reject it. Let's look at the Packers.
Yeah.
If we took pick 9 and 226 for pick this, let's see if they'll take it. Let's see. Dude, we were
What did you just offer?
Our 1st round pick for their 2 seconds.
That would be a pretty, if they see somebody on the board they're liking, they might do it.
Yeah, usually it's for quarterbacks. So they don't really have it.
Yeah, they don't need that, but this is also a mock draft with a content creator, Mike. So
that's what I'm saying.
They might not think like that. They might just be like, "Oh, cool, we can get someone."
Right. That's kind of why I've been,
who'd they
do what you do here.
Kool-Aid,
Ladd McConkey. Look at that. They're taking all of our wide receiver options. So now we do need to get out of here. It looks like. No, I tell you what, Devondre Sweat would be a great pick right here. I still don't think we take Kool-Aid.
Go up.
I still, Chop Robinson's still on the board, but see, I feel like he's more of a stand-up guy.
Yeah, I don't think he fits.
Tyler Guyton's not bad, but he's still a project.
Darius Robinson's a good one, but you might be able to. How far are we trading back?
It would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
HD
8,
Chiefs fans
picks.
with the 5 gifted memberships. We appreciate you, my man.
Let's go, HD Chiefs fans.
Let's go, baby. Make sure y'all have that gifting turned on.
Dude, this is wild, huh?
Yeah, this is interesting. I like doing it this way because a lot of times we're trying to pick what everyone's going to do. So it kind of takes that off of us. But at the same time, like some of these guys are probably picking out of their ass.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. At the beginning, I said that we were going to take it what we would do instead of trying to pick for what we think Brett Veach will do. Like, we're just going to do what we want to do tonight.
I do really think that Buffalo could take Xavier Leggett there, though. We did that in our mock draft.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at this big board, dude, I would love to get out of here and get an extra pick. Could you imagine getting 3 picks in the top 60?
Have you got any response from Green Bay yet?
Probably not. To me, it feels like one of those things. Let me come over here and go to the chat.
Green Bay.
Yo, GB. Check your trades, bro.
Heads up. The Baltimore Ravens have traded their pick to the Los Angeles Chargers.
Huh. Let's see who they've taken. Let's see. Down here.
Who do they got doing? Who do they have doing Green Bay?
Green Bay is, let me see. Let me grab it. It is James Foster of No Flags Film. I'm not familiar with James and No Flags Film. So
me neither. So who did they trade up to try to take here?
Maybe we could do it with the Raiders too. Here comes Keon Coleman.
Who did the Chargers take early in the first round?
They passed up Malik Neighbors, I think.
What?
Yeah, I think
Who'd they
did.
take?
No, they took Marvin Harrison Jr.
So and Keon Coleman.
So now they're going to take Keon Coleman. Oh, this is insane, dude.
Yeah,
Who in the world is picking for the Chargers?
Dude, a Chargers fan would definitely do something like that. It's probably that lady they kept showing on TV.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's probably who it is.
The Chargers. Bladen Kirk of Stay Hot Sports Podcast. Guys, if you guys watch Stay Hot Sports Podcast, you may want to turn it off. No, I'm joking.
I don't think anybody here is watching.
I don't think that people are. I think people just pick what they want to get clicks.
Yeah, that's
what somebody told me. They thought people were just going to try to get clicks out of this.
There's no way they're going to, especially if they take a receiver that early. They're not trading up for another.
Dude, are you kidding me? You had 2 first-round picks and you didn't take a tackle?
Gary Hamilton. Gary Hamilton knows. It's not happening.
Harbaugh wants to run the ball. What do you think the big knock on JJ, McCarthy was? Because they just handed the ball off every play. And then they're going to get 2 wide receivers? Whoever's picking for the Chargers is high, bro. He's on something. Look, let's send a trade offer.
We're on the clock in 35 seconds, so if no one accepted our trade, we got to pick.
Yeah, let's send an offer to here.
We need to discuss it real quick.
And let's see what they can do. Let's try this one. Maybe somebody will send us one once we get on the clock.
Did you send 2 to Green Bay?
No, I've got 1 to the Raiders and 1 to the Green Bay, the exact same pick.
All right. Well, we need to be looking who we're going to pick because
somebody rejected the trade. The Raiders, so they don't want to come back up. So they think they can sit. Green
Bay's not paying attention, so we need to pay attention to the board because we're on the clock. So
yeah, we're going to be up right now. So let's just
couldn't trade out. So what do we do here?
Well, we got to see who the 49ers take. I would think the 49ers are going to take maybe. Good Lord, they took it so quick. I was thinking maybe a tackle, but
they might take Sweat here.
They took Chop. Okay, man. It looks like we're not getting out. It's Devondre Sweat, in my opinion, Tyler Guyton, or Darius Robinson. I feel like that's your top 3. Maybe Kingsley, if you think Kingsley's the guy. Do we want to keep taking Kingsley over and over in every mock? I don't know. This is what we would do. I'm not a huge fan of Jordan Morgan. I'm really not.
You guys in the chat, give your 2 cents. I'll be scoping that out. We have 1 minute, so.
Yep. Guyton, Sweat, Darius Robinson.
I've seen a couple Sweat. So.
I do like Devondre Sweat. I think that's a great pick right here.
I think Guyton's a good pick too. Let's see. It looks like overwhelmingly so far, Sweat seems to be the pick.
Sweat's a great pick. I wish somebody would do. I wish
somebody
would take the trade.
Scroll down just a little bit further. Keep going.
You got Ricky Pearsall, Kamari Lassiter, Newman, Jatavion Sanders, Ben Sinnott. No. We're starting to get into the second round.
Back up.
It's Tyler Guyton or Sweat, I believe. Maybe Darius Robinson. What do you guys think? Steve, what do you think, man? You have 40 seconds. You going to give some opinion or no?
Honestly, I would go Darius Robinson. I like the Sweat pick a lot. I like the value, but I feel like we need an edge rusher.
We've been sent a trade offer. What do we have?
Uh-oh.
We get
nope.
The second? Oh, we moved down a few picks.
Nope.
Do we want to do it?
No. I'd say Darius Robinson or Sweat. Y'all better say in the chat. I'm going Darius Robinson. That's where my heart's at. What about you, Mike?
I'm fine with either one of them. We got 8 seconds. You want to go Darius Robinson?
I do, but I don't want to come in and bogart everything. Like you guys got to.
Okay, we're going to let the people win. We take Devondre Sweat right here.
Oh, man. See, now you made me sad.
I think it's a good pick. I think
it's a great pick. It's good value.
Did you just see Chris Jones and Charles Omenihu on Twitter talking about how they'd love to have Devondre Sweat?
No, I get it. But at the same time, it's like I feel like we definitely needed like an edge. And I think Darius Robinson, they could probably kick him inside and out just the same way they do Omenihu and everybody else.
Right. Preferably, I'd have loved to have got out of that. I really would have. And I would have liked to have had more time to be able to do stuff than 2 minutes.
Yeah, it does.
I really wish. You know how like we're watching on draft night and we're like, my God, why they gotta have 15 minutes?
Mike, you did everything you could to make sure I didn't slide in here at the last minute and make the pick. I see what you did. You're like, who do you want? Darius Robinson? Yes, yes. Okay, Devondre Sweat. You're like, that's what you get for being late.
Well, look, Darius Robinson can go inside and out. I just don't see tons of things with Darius Robinson that makes me honestly. I feel like Felix was a better prospect, and he struggled mightily last year.
Do you think Felix is a better prospect than Robinson? I guess he is a more polished pass rusher.
He's a way more polished pass rusher.
Darius Robinson's
he probably doesn't kick all the way
now, isn't he?
He doesn't kick up and down the line the same, probably, but I think his pass rushing moves was a lot better.
I'm okay with the Sweat pick, though. I think it's tremendous value there.
I think it's good value. I mean, I think
any defensive line,
anything our line, and 100%, we're probably going, wide receiver or tackle here for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Sweat with Jones, you can't argue with that. I mean, I would be okay with it, especially if he fell that far. I don't think Sweat's gonna. He might. I don't know. What do you think? You think he'll be there or not?
Yeah, he'll be there. I also don't think. I just don't look. Teams didn't want to work with us, even in this. Okay,
even in a fake draft, they don't.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. But I'm telling you. Devondre Sweat, in my opinion, he's got a decent amount of arsenal, and he helps instantly. I like the pick. I think he makes the defensive ends better.
Well, while you're talking about it, though, what do we got available here? Can we start trading up and try to get our guy, like a guy we want?
Right. I guess we could. I think it's going to be tough getting up this high. You're probably going to have to start looking somewhere around like 16 and back.
And I doubt anyone's going to swap us because it's only a 2-round draft, but we can try.
That's what I'm saying. This is why you're kind of handicapped here.
We can
Troy Franklin at the first pick in the second round is asinine.
Yeah, it's trash.
That is a bad pick.
Trash. Garbage.
Look, I'm telling you, the way this draft's going, the fact that they've overlooked Graham Barton, they've overlooked Tyler Guyton, they've overlooked Kingsley.
You think they could overlook Ricky Pearsall all the way down to 64?
Dude, well, look, at this point, you've got 4 tackles. Roger Rosengarten is 5. You've got Patrick
Paul still on the board.
There's still 6 tackles on the board, and the way these guys are just taking just skill players, somebody's going to fall right in our lap. Dude, you win in the trenches. You win in the trenches.
Well, yeah, that's why I wouldn't argue with the Devondre Sweat pick. It's like any kind of pick for the trenches. You can't really get upset with it. Like, it might not be the sexy pick, it might not be the receiver you wanted, but like, it's not a bad pick. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they go tackle or they go defensive line or edge in the first round, I don't care.
You think the Chiefs would have took Tyler Guyton there at 32? I mean, I think they consider it. I don't know if he's
think that would have been a conversation.
Well, I don't know if he's a full-on lock, though. He's very raw. I like him, but he's raw.
Well, I think you could have. Here's the thing, Mike. With the Sweat pick, I feel like you could have maybe taken a tackle there. You could have got Guyton or whoever and still probably managed to snag a decent tackle in the second round, defensive tackle.
Well, yeah. I mean, everybody can quarterback picks. You're seeing that first and foremost. This happens all the time. You can always do that. I'm just saying it's tough when you have 2 minutes. You don't get to consider all this. So I tend to just stick with my big board, and I think he was the best player on the board.
Best player. So you basically just went best player available.
Well, besides Guyton, I had Guyton a little bit higher rated, but
so we probably should. I don't know.
It was only a few picks.
Say we took Guyton there. If we took Guyton, who would we be looking at? Like, if you wanted to go defensive tackle in the second round, who would you look at there? Would I doubt what's his name from Florida State would fall that far. No, but you never know in this.
You may be lucky to snag a Chris Jenkins out of Michigan. Yeah, you may have had a Chris Jenkins from Michigan. You may have had
maybe LSU guys.
Ruka Rororo.
Ruka Rororo.
Maybe. Rororo. It just depends.
What do we got here? What's the Texans up to?
Ennis Rakestraw. It's not too bad.
Did you say Pennis Rakestraw?
Dude, I would have loved to have just traded out of that pick. Like, I was begging people to trade out of that pick. I guess people just think that there's no reason to trade up.
Well, why don't you see if we can trade up? Maybe someone will go for it. I don't know. Give it a shot. Who would we take? Darius Robinson's still on the board. Why don't you just double up the defensive line?
No.
Get Guyton still on the board? No one took him yet?
Yeah.
Graham Barton just now left.
Tyler Guyton just went.
Oh, did he?
He went to the Patriots.
Okay. So what are we looking at for tackle? Is Kingley still on the board?
You still got a decent amount of
that'd be a
picks
great
on
pick.
the board.
Patrick Paul.
You don't have anybody right here that you want to come up for. Are you looking at wide receiver? Like, are you going to swing up this many spots to get a Ricky Pearsall? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of wide receivers, but there's none I'd really want to just move up and give up my draft for.
That's true. I don't know if it's necessary to move up.
Yeah, wide
here.
receiver is pretty. Dude, this could be a class where they don't even take wide receiver till the third or fourth round.
Yeah,
I know people
be
don't
pretty
want to hear
upset.
that.
But
Yeah, people don't want to hear that, but I think it's very possible.
Well,
I would.
What are you thinking? What are you thinking? What are you thinking position wise for second?
I don't know. Like, I really wanted to get that extra second round pick. I thought that there's so much value here in the second round that I would love.
We waited a little too long to decide to trade it out. That was the problem.
I mean, we threw it out there pretty early, though. I still think people want to mess with it, man. Who here would have? It had to be the Raiders. The Raiders would have had to be the one to come up.
Did you see where Brandon Ayuk is in the 49ers, or like at a holdout pretty much?
Really?
Mm-hmm. Ayuk. How does he say his name?
Ayukin.
Ayukin.
Dude, it's pretty crazy that, yeah, people are definitely not valuing. People are definitely not valuing some of the better players here. I think it's crazy that Darius Robinson's still on the board. Then again, I will say this: you can see Darius Robinson. Look, I've got him 36th player. Right. So I mean, I've got him high second. I think they've got to take a tackle here, don't they? They didn't take one in the first round.
They did.
Okay, they took Jordan Morgan, so they held to the second round and got an inferior tackle. Good job. Could have had Joe Alt.
They passed Joe Alt. What did they take?
They took Malik Neighbors. But you could have had Joe.
I mean, I guess
Alt.
if you're going to pass Joe Alt, I mean, at least you got like who I consider probably the best receiver in the draft. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, do you take Joe Alt, Ricky Pearsall, or do you take Jordan Morgan, Malik Neighbors? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, I wish we could snag that extra pick, but we just couldn't do it. There goes Darius right there. Okay, so that's about right.
You tried. It just didn't happen.
No, this is why.
Firebomb from Flapjack. He says this is a crazy ass draft. Some of these dudes doing fantasy picks.
You're right, man. This is why it made it a little bit hard right there, sitting at 32. It really did. We kind of had some players on the board that you didn't expect to be on the board. I honestly didn't think Tyler Guyton would have been sitting there, to be honest. Probably could have taken him. Probably should have taken him. But again, I don't know. Dude, Chief Kelsey said Ayuk wants $30 million plus.
Get out of town. He ain't worth that. That's stupid.
Crazy, dude.
Pop with the 10 bomb. Pops, what's up, old man? What's this? I just want everyone to know this. Pop seems to disappear when it's not football season. He doesn't hang out with us anymore. He's like, oh, there's no football game, so I'm just gonna not hang out with you. He'd probably say the same thing about us, though, right?
Probably.
Have to swing by. Let's go get some food, Pops. Let's go get a steak. It's been a whole 3 weeks since your birthday, and we already did that. But
Pops, you think T'Vondre Sweat was a decent pick there to end the first? A lot of people are saying Chad says he's a 2-down player with conditioning issues. Yes and no. I mean, he's 366. Conditioning issues. He's just big, right? At 366, he's just a big guy.
I think you don't expect him to play 4 downs, obviously. You know what you're getting when you pick him, right?
Well, my point with T'Vondre Sweat is he's a very good, a very smart kid. He graded a PFF this year overall as a 92 in the interior. He played 500 defensive snaps. And you would say, oh, he just plays the first 2 downs. No, he played 310 rushing snaps. And he had a pass rush win rate of over 15%. His run stop grade is 12.8%.
So big boy can get after a quarterback a little. He can make some pressure.
Yeah. He played 402 snaps in the B gap, so he didn't just play head up over the
There
nose
goes
tackle
there goes
either.
Kingsley.
So I honestly think Devondre Sweat would be a pretty good pick. I think if anything, you see how good our team was when Mike Pinnell's playing at a high level and what that does for the defense. A guy like Devondre Sweat that can get after the quarterback and stop the run, I think that frees up Nick Bolton and Drew Tranquil to do a lot of work back there.
Chief of the North, Brian Thomas was not on the board, or we would have picked him.
Yeah.
The Lions traded up and took him.
Yeah, Brian Thomas was not on the board. We talked about doing that.
Yep. I don't know. I think Devondre Sweat pick is a good value pick. I think it's a good pick, but I do think it would upset a lot of Chiefs Kingdom because
as we've already seen.
Right, it's not the sexy pick that people want.
Steve, but this is what everybody's doing in the draft too. We're watching the draft be completely chaotic because people don't want to take the big uglies. People want the sexy picks.
Yeah, you got the Chargers on here trading up to take 2 wide receivers in the first round
and completely not getting a tackle. It's ridiculous. I think it throws you off a little bit too when teams don't draft according to plan a little bit. Because it just kind of throws new players into the mix. The Giants will take Michael Penix. That's wow. That's all I can say about that one. Bengal has struggled today, in my opinion. Bengal took Rome Odunze over Malik Neighbors, I think. So they had their eye on Bo Nix the whole time. They wasn't going to come up to the end of the first. Look, if you're going to take Bo Nix, you should have come up into the first at 32. Got that 5th-year option there.
Yeah, see, but they're the Raiders, man. Even their fans aren't smart enough to do that.
He just wanted to pick twice in the second round like we did.
Yeah.
That's all this is. All these guys just want more picks.
Brian Leggett is not on the board. He gone. He went to Buffalo.
He went to Buffalo.
Buffalo snaked him just like they snaked Dalton
I wanted
Kincaid
to trade up.
Year.
I wanted to trade up to get Brian Thomas, and the Lions come up and snagged him. Okay. We considered trading up for a tackle. We would have took Leggett if he'd have been on the board. I think Leggett would have been our pick, right, Steve? I would have took Leggett.
I think so, yeah.
Right. We took what we had. Nobody wanted to come out, and I think Devondre Sweat is a good pick. You could have took Darius Robinson. You could have took Tyler Guyton. Again, I don't know if Tyler Guyton's that big of an upgrade this year over Wanya Morris. It remains to be seen. And I don't know if Darius Robinson's actually got as much upside as Devondre Sweat, to be honest. So we'll see.
I don't know. That's pretty questionable there. I would have personally took Darius Robinson probably, but
Steve,
I do understand. Am I?
Yeah, I think you are. I think you're wrong because I think with Darius Robinson, you've got a guy that shows potential.
Here's a guy.
He doesn't have elite pass rushing moves. He doesn't have an elite first step.
I mean, he's a bull rusher, that's for sure.
He's just a bull rusher. Again, that's it. He can kick down the line, but
so is George.
I get it, but look, the thing about Devondre Sweat is though he can play. He don't just play nose. He can play all the way down. He played 400 snaps from the B gap.
Yeah, no, I'm not knocking.
He has a 15% pass rush win rate.
Like I said, I think it's a good value pick there. I just might have gone edge.
He had 26 hurries.
I think if we had it to do all over again, would you take Guyton?
I don't know. I still don't know. I mean, Guyton was a few picks higher on my big board. A few. Tyler Guyton on my big board is 25. Devondre Sweat's 29. It's like splitting hairs, man. That's all it is.
Yeah, true. Carth says he'd be all horned up to get Sweat at 32.
I think it's a good pick. I don't think people think it's sexy because they want the tackle, they want the wide receiver, but I think you just take the best football player available, and I think Devondre Sweat's a good football player.
Yeah.
If you go watch just about 12 seconds of any kind of Texas defensive film.
Yeah, there goes Persall. There goes your boy to the Ravens, bro. Chief Kelsey said the same thing I did, Mike. He said he's a little bit bigger on Robinson because he can kick inside now. So I think any of those picks would be good. Would anybody here just be furious if they took either Sweat, Robinson, or Guyton? I think any of those picks would be okay. What do you think?
I mean, I'd be fine with any of them, to be honest.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying. I don't think any of them would like make me mad or upset. Let's see here. So Patrick Paul's still on the board. I know Kingsley went. If Paul's there at second, do we just take him at 64?
probably. You probably take your tackle here. I know it's going to anger people to not get the wide receiver, but yeah, I feel like if you don't take the tackle in the second round, you ain't going to get one. But look, but we're all just considering that Wanye is just a bum that's not playing.
Yeah, well, it's not really that for me. It's more of a competition thing. Tana Stank says all 3 picks are sexy to him. All of them sexy.
I'm just saying, look, if you get a tackle in the second round, is he starting over Wanye? Remains to be seen.
Joe Eber in the second round. They're only doing 2 rounds on this creator mock. Let me see. TJ Tampa just left the board. What do we got on the big board right now, Mike?
Let me see.
Yeah, what do we got? Edgerrin Cooper still on the board. It's pretty crazy to me.
Peyton Wilson's still on the board. I think Peyton Wilson could get into the first round.
I like
he's
Cooper
got some
better.
medicals, but he's good. Dude, Peyton Wilson, they're both good. They're both good, but Peyton Wilson's flat out insane.
He's also old.
Newman's still, well, by old, you mean 24.
Yeah.
Tyler Newman is on the board. Jatavion Sanders still on the board. Zach Zinter, they've got him listed as a tackle. He's a guard. Ben Sinnott, Rosengarten. I don't think Rosengarten's going this late either. Cooper Beebe's still on the board.
Maiden Fisk still hanging out.
Patrick Paul, Jonathan Brooks, Roman Wilson, Chris Jenkins, Junior Colson, Jalen Wright, Trey Benson, Malachi Corley, Marshawn Nealand.
I like Jermaine Burton, and I like Corley. If you're going receiver or Roman Wilson, any of those guys.
Edgerrin Cooper goes.
Pop says Dominic Pooney. A little early for Pooney.
He could sneak into the second. But right now on my big board, I've got Pooney. Let me see. I've got Pooney as about a mid third round pick. I've got him like.
What about Cooper Beebe?
Cooper Beebe's pretty high. He's number 50 on my big board. So if he was to fall to us, that'd be a heck of a pick.
Yeah, I think so too.
You take the backup guard over the backup tackle. Actually,
does it matter? I mean, any offensive line depth is going to come in handy. We got a lot going on there. So any investment to the offensive line, no one can get mad at. It doesn't matter what position.
He's just a bull rusher, says the guy who picked Devondre Sweat. It's 2 drastically different positions.
Yeah. Not the same, bro.
Most people on the inside is only bull rushing. Just saying.
I can see Devondre Sweat pulling out some spin moves.
366-pound guy doing a jump chop, a push-pull spin move to come off of a – get out of here. Like, good Lord.
No. Yeah, that's just two different positions.
Look, Darius Robinson. This is what I like.
I don't think you could go wrong with either of those two.
Right. I like Darius Robinson. But look, in 2021, he played more inside than he played outside. In 2022, he played more inside than outside. And then this year, they put him out over the tackle. He played 395 snaps over outside of the tackle this year. He hadn't played none of that. He'd only played 8 in his previous 2 seasons. So he's still kind of raw at the outside. He doesn't have a lot of arsenal of moves. Okay. He's not as good as a run defender. His pass rush grade's lower. He did have a 17% pass rush win rate, but you've got to think about it. Like,
so did Felix.
Yeah, Felix did too. That's what I'm saying. And Felix was much more polished. He only had 27 hurries coming off the edge, and that is good. That is good. How many hurries do you think Devondre Swift had coming up the middle? 26. He had just as many hurries, and he's coming up the gut. So it's like, I don't know, man. I think everybody just needs to chill on. Some picks are just more sexy, you know? Nobody wants to look at the 366-pound sexy
I could
monster.
definitely see Corley in a Steelers uniform. I don't know why that makes sense.
Corley, look, the more I think about it, I don't know if we would pick Corley.
He is a straight yak guy. But hold on real quick, Mike. We got a 2-bomb
Let's
from
go.
Rerun. Appreciate you, Rerun. Thanks for the 2. And then we got Samuel Lofton with the 2. Appreciate you, Sam. Man, y'all put some legendaries and some catch-ups in the chat for those guys. Appreciate the donos. Yeah, man. So here's the thing. With the whole Sweat and the Darius Robinson argument, like it's kind of personal preference which one you take, but at the same time, I think either pick's good. So I don't think you even have to argue about it, right? Either one of those would be a good pick. I understand what you're saying.
I think at the end of the day, it just beefs up a defensive line that we need people up and down the line.
Right. It doesn't matter which one
It
you
doesn't
take.
matter which one you need them.
Right. That's where I'm at.
Plus, what do we always say? We've banged the table for 2 straight years saying that Chris Jones in the middle is the reason that the outside guys are doing well.
Yeah. Well,
so get another guy in the middle that can flat out play.
Well, we already picked that, but we haven't picked the 2nd round pick yet. And I want to talk about that more. So, of course, there's some receivers that are going to be available here.
They're flying through here.
I think if Cooper Beebe's there, I think you take him without thinking about it, because that's going to be your insurance plan. Joe Tooney, you got to replace Joe Tooney. Probably Trey Smith as well. So, to me, that's just a piece that would be very, very valuable.
I don't know if they get past Bro Schmo here at 23.
Yeah, he probably isn't taking crazy picks.
He took Byron Murphy. I told everybody in the chat he was going to take either Byron Murphy was one of the 3, but I thought he was looking at Graham Barton. And he went ahead and took Murphy because he had good.
For the Dolphins?
There went Cooper Beebe right there.
Oh, dang.
The Eagles?
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, Bro Schmo's a Dolphins fan. It's kind of odd.
Did you see where Hassan Reddick got traded for people were talking about L'Jarius Sneed getting a next year 3rd round pick. I think they got like a way future 3rd round pick for Hassan Reddick.
That's what Justin just said. Explain the people that don't get the Sneed stuff. It's getting old.
Yeah, think about
you
that.
You just seen Hassan Reddick. Like if we'd have had Hassan Reddick, Steve, our fans would have lost their minds.
Dude, Hassan Reddick is probably a more valuable person than L'Jarius Sneed because it's a more premium position. Hassan Reddick's an absolute monster, and he got less of a trade than we got for Sneed.
It's crazy, huh?
That's wild. So everybody dogging on Beach about that one needs to. They got to shut up now. Like that's crazy.
We'll see. We'll see. Rerun too. He says C.
He said N last time. What's he putting together here?
No, he didn't. He said N.
I think so.
Oh, he did. He did. N and then C. North Carolina.
Is it nickname or I'm sorry, initials for somebody that's on the board right now?
Who? Wait, who? NC. Is he just trolling?
Maybe.
Who we got? Who we got here? Who we got? Houston Texans select Braden Fisk, defensive line from Florida State.
Braden Fisk.
Got be Mel Kiper. Here you got a guy that went to the combine, Steve. He come out of Western Michigan for 4 years and transferred over to Florida State. He made himself a lot of money at the combine. He's 6'4", 292, runs a 4.78 40-yard dash with a 1.68 10-yard split, but he really made his money having a 33.5-inch vertical.
Your head's got to be a lot bigger to be Mel Kiper.
Got to get that big hair going.
Yeah.
Dude, he cracks me up, dude. He talks so much like he chokes. He chokes and he can't breathe. Like, I seen somewhere, was it Pat McAfee? He had an evil Mel Kiper. He had a guy that like portrayed him.
There should be one. He looks like a villain of some sort.
It's kind of funny.
He's kind of got a Dracula look to him. He looks like a damn Dracula, Mike.
He is a Dracula. Yeah, he's a Dracula. Rob says Patrick Paul thoughts. I like Patrick Paul. I think we've all liked Patrick Paul here for a little while.
Yeah.
Well, Mel Kiper him 6'7.5", 331, has a 5'1", 340-yard dash and a 1.77 10-yard split, 29-inch vertical at 6'7.5". Come on with that. But I tell you what, he's going to make his money because he's got 36 and a 1/4 inch arms. The dude can pick up a penny without bending over. Come on.
Man, it's been a while since that. Come on.
We used to know a guy. Was it a guy that we knew?
It was a John McKenna and Michael Paul.
Yeah, we knew a guy named John McKenna, and they would just go around playing golf, and every word they would say, they'd say, come on.
Come on.
And I don't get it, but
Bump
I kind of like it.
Yeah, I kind of like it too. Didn't
Should we just-
Michael Paul move to Kansas City? Didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Got season tickets.
I think we should just start saying "come on" after everything. Put it on a T-shirt. Mason McCormick, come on. That was Bro Schmo. Look, he took another good pick there. Nobody even knows about Mason McCormick. Look, I bet he's not even anybody's draft boards. Mason McCormick, awesome, out of South Dakota State, 6'4", 309.
It's coming up on us
Love
sooner
him.
than later here, so let's figure out what we want to do.
Jalen Wright,
Get back to the big board.
a
Wright in the second
running
round.
back, went off the board. Should we take a running back, just be done with it?
I think everybody would lose it.
Hey, it's a premium position in a horned-up draft.
Stephen Wilson asked, why do people hate on Johnny Wilson so much?
He's tall and awkward.
Awkward. He's very awkward and gangly. Like if you watch his tape, like he's not bad, but it's like it's very awkward. Like I don't know how that's going to translate. I feel like he's going to be injured a lot.
I think they're going to try to keep him at wide receiver, but I think they will try to move him over to tackle at some point. He had 40%.
You mean tight end?
Yeah, that's what I meant. 40% contested catch rate. His drop rate though was 11%.
Yeah,
not good.
I do like him, but yeah, it's just it's
wait. Rerun with 2. He's back up with an S.
Rerun. What are we doing here?
Wait, he said NCS.
I feel like he's trying to. What's the word I'm looking for here? Subconsciously turn us to a certain person. Like
NCS.
He's subliminally telling us who to pick.
North Carolina State. Maybe he's going to NC State. Who are you trying to get from NC State?
I don't think that's it.
I don't either because there's nobody here.
I think he's messing with you.
He could be.
Well,
Steve,
go back.
Man, here we go. Let's look at the board.
Yep.
I mean, we're up in 2, 4, 6, 8 picks. We get to close out the whole draft.
Let's start talking about what we want to do here.
Look, we're not taking Tyler Nubin. Jatavion Sanders is an intriguing kind of pick because he could kind of be like a wide receiver out there, man.
Why is Zach Zenter listed as a tackle?
They just got him listed wrong. I like Ben Sinnott here as a pick too.
I do like Ben Sinnott.
Boy, you could give Patrick Mahomes a lot of fun weapons with Jatavion Sanders and Ben Sinnott. I get it's not the wide receiver, but the wide receiver group's so deep.
Yeah, but Jatavion Sanders is very much like Isaiah Likely, who is
once you get through Jatavion Sanders and Ben Sinnott, your tight ends are obsolete at that point. I mean, you're basically.
Anybody offer us a trade? Nope.
No. Who the Bills going to take? Chris Braswell, edge. That's a reach. Dang, they're just flying right now. People's horned up. They know exactly what they're going to
put you on the spot. They're going to put you on the spot, man. Keep going down.
Jaden Hicks.
Go down. Rosengarten.
I think Patrick Paul's on the short list right here, man.
Yeah, I think so too.
Dude, Trey Benson would be great value.
Yeah, but I don't want to. I
don't want to take it though. Let's go. Mahogany. We've talked to Mahogany so far.
We've also talked to Marshawn Nealon, who would take care of the edge rusher.
It would be 2 defensive line. Everybody would probably.
Marshawn Nealon now he is just a bull rusher. Am I wrong?
You like Tez Walker here, maybe?
I mean, he's got all the intangibles.
Wait, we've been sent the trade offer. What is it? We received number 20, and they moved back to 32.
No, they're trying to take our second round pick. That's for third round.
What an a-hole.
Reject.
Get out of here, bro. Trying to pull a fast one on somebody.
That's only 2 rounds, man. We're not giving you our pick for a third rounder. The fictional draft is over after round 2. Why would we ever trade for a third round pick?
Dude, everybody's fictional draft out here, man. Steve, who do we pair with T'Vondre Sweat to make this draft an A? Do you have to just hit the home run here? What's the home run pick? Is it Brendan Rice, wide receiver? Is it Mahogany on the inside? Is it Jonathan Brooks?
If I'm going receiver here,
is it Patrick Paul?
If you go receiver here, go up. I got to see who's on the board.
The fact here, I'll just put receivers on: Jermaine Burton, Brendan Rice, Tez Walker, Johnny Wish, and Malik Washington.
Okay, if I'm going receiver here, I'm taking Jermaine Burton.
There's Javon Baker, which we've talked to.
It would be Burton if he's on the board.
Honestly, I would take Tez Walker.
I would take Burton. So that's where we're at there. Let's go to tackle.
Tackles, Patrick Paul. Zach Zenter is not. Rosengarten is a good player. He's not going to be on the board right here, but he's a right tackle only. So it's Patrick Paul or Kieran Emagaji from Yale. I think Paul's definitely the guy here. Amagaji is a definite project. I think Patrick Paul's on your short. Another trade offer? Daggone, bro.
No, we don't want to. We don't want your third round pick, whoever you are.
No, they're wanting us to come up to 28. Honestly, like at this point, we run out of time to pick him. He's on the board right now, man.
Yeah, reject it.
Here comes Buffalo. Get out of here, Buffalo. Everybody leave us alone. Y'all didn't want to trade the first round?
They're all just trying to get an extra pick. So I think we can ignore the trades right now.
Get out of here. You didn't want to trade with us in the first? Get out. Is there any corners here? I mean, I don't think you have to replace Snead. No, nope. There's nothing.
Max Melton.
Max Melton's not going to be it. Who's the pick? Let's see who we got.
He said we couldn't trade, so...
We couldn't trade, so let's go ahead and take Marshawn Nealon here. Okay, good job. Let's see. So we'll put wide receiver, interior. I think we leave defense out of this one, and I don't think we look at running back this early. Here's our board, man.
Yeah, okay, so in the chat, real quick, because we're getting close to our pick, just start putting a position that you would want us to pick here. Yeah. Do you want to go wide receiver? Do you want to go tackle? Do you want to go tight end? I think that's the main ones that have good value.
You could do guard too. Christian Mahogany wouldn't be a bad pick here as well. But I think Mahogany's more of a third round selection. So, yeah, I think it's tackle or tight end. I think it's what you're all looking at. Or wide receiver, I mean.
Wide receiver, yeah.
Yeah, wide receiver too.
HD Chiefs fan says inside offensive lineman. Is Christian Mahogany about the only one left?
Amagaji goes before Patrick Paul, huh? These guys are wild, bro. I don't know who's drafting these things, but they are wild.
Wild.
Do we take two of the two biggest monsters in the draft? Doesn't that sound like a Veach thing? The 366-pound monster athlete on the defense, and then a 6'7" tackle with 40-inch arms on tackle. You know what I'm saying?
Veach does like his little measurables.
Right. This just feels like a Veach kind of draft, huh?
Chief Kelsey says Patrick Paul or Devontae Walker. A lot of people are saying Patrick Paul. Tight end for Lewis Cutbirth. Brenda Pike says offensive tackle. Stephen Bill tackle. Wide receiver or offensive tackle from Rob Miller. O-line from Justin Flanders. I think the overwhelming thing here is Patrick Paul. Justin Flanders with a little two-bomb action. Let me click that. And he says a little PP on the PP, Mike.
Oh, I do like the PP pick. I think it's Patrick Paul right now.
Right now, that seems to be the...
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going Patrick Paul unless somebody takes him here. Destin and the Colts, I mean, they've already just botched the draft. The Lions have proven they will just take anybody at any position. They'll probably take a wide receiver again. Who's the Lions taking already? So they've already taken Xavier Worthy in the first round, the Colts. So they will not take a wide receiver. So they could take a Jatavion Sanders or a Ben Sinnott here.
Right, yeah.
The Lions have taken just about whatever. I like the Patrick Paul pick, man. I think Patrick Paul here would be perfect value, and I think, good Lord, you win in the trenches, Steve. Nothing sexy. Kalen Bullock, what a horrible pick. You don't win. You win games in the trenches. It's not the sexiest of sexy picks, Steve.
Oh, Mike.
Is he going to take Patrick Paul?
With the 2. It says U. So what do we got now? NCSU? NCSU.
I don't know.
He's just messing with you at this point.
NCSU?
So a lot of people saying a little PP on the PP here, Mike. Even Gil says offensive tackle. Lewis Cutbirth has a hot take. He says he might want to take tight end because he thinks Kelsey might retire after next year.
Dude, I think Ben Sinnott goes in the second round, and I think he's actually passing up Jatavion Sanders in a lot of... Could you imagine the Chiefs with a weapon like a Jatavion Sanders or a Ben Sinnott? Like I said, again, that's not wide receiver. But how many times does Andy Reid run 12 and 13 personnel?
Yeah.
Dude, if you could put... Dude, Sanders and Sinnott both can play... They can play receiver at certain... You could play...
They're definitely good
pass slot. Yeah, dude, they could be definite weapons.
Ben Sinnott's a blocker too, though. So
yeah, he can
do both.
676, 6 touchdowns last year. Jatavion Sanders, man, when we watched his film, he was out of control. Awesome.
He is good. Like I said, I know it's kind of a lazy comp, but I always just think of as Isaiah Likely when I see him play, like his style.
Right.
So let me see
Did we
here.
get another trade? Get out of here with these, bro.
They're wanting another pick before it's over. That's all. You're not getting it unless you got 2 picks before us. You're not getting.
Here we go. We're on the clock. If the pick is in.
Hey, if anybody objects to Patrick Paul, you better do so, and you better do so loudly.
Austin Booker, what a horrible pick in the end of the second. He's definitely a 3rd round guy. Maybe later.
Yeah.
He was horrible in his metrics and testing. Look, man, I think it's between Jatavion Sanders. We've talked to Jatavion Sanders. It's between Ben Sinnott. He's a local kid. He plays tight end. He's got a lot of Kelsey moves. And I believe it's Patrick Paul here. I believe you would wait on wide receiver. I think Jermaine Burton with his little attitude problems, and then Brendan Rice, I don't know if he fits our system as well. So, I mean, to me, it would be Walker would be the receiver they would take. So, personally, I don't think Walker's hands are good enough. Well, they're good enough. He's good enough to be looked at right here, in my opinion.
All right, we got 1 minute. Y'all in the chat, put Paul, Sinnott, or Walker, and go.
Or just Paul Walker, and we'll be fine with it. I think we take Paul. I think a little PP on the PP. I think we build up the two lines, man.
Oh, somebody come in with a Sanders hot and heavy.
Pop said North Carolina State University. NCSU.
Flapjack with the 5 bomb says you will go, Patrick Paul. If anybody objects, they better outdo Flapjack here. You better hurry.
I like Patrick Paul, man. I really do. Best player available on our board would be probably Patrick Paul here.
Sam Lofton says Mahogany.
Actually, best player on our board is Jatavion Sanders.
Yeah.
Patrick Paul is ranked number 55.
Still a good pick.
Still a great pick. None of these guys are going to be here. In real life, these guys are going to be gone.
All right. Well,
I think we go Patrick Paul and call it a day, fellas.
I think
let's bump up these lines. You ready?
Tavondre Sweat and Patrick Paul.
It's not the most sexy, but it is freaking awesome. Here we go.
Wouldn't be mad at it.
Here we go. We're going Patrick Paul right here, fellas. Dude, I tell you what, I wouldn't be mad at it. You win in the trenches. You win in the trenches.
A lot of people be upset about not getting a wide receiver in the first 2 rounds because that's the major sentiment I see with Chiefs Kingdom is if you don't take a 1st round or 2nd round wide receiver in this draft, then you're crazy.
For the sake of finishing out the draft, so people will see what we see in our plans. Let's do a round 3 as if we had a round 3. So let's go to about pick number 90-ish and start looking around. So here we go. We'll just go somewhere in this region. Pooney, Kyrie Jackson, Brownlee a corner, Malik Washington. Would anybody be opposed to a Malik Washington or above Means?
Well, see, that's another thing. Like, I feel like at the end of the 3rd round there, you could see a Javon Baker. I know he went in this draft, but in real life, I feel like he could drop.
Yeah, I do too. I think, where did Javon Baker go?
Didn't somebody take him? Or am I imagining things?
I think you're imagining. I don't see him off the board.
Well, he could definitely be there. Let's see. Who else? There's a lot of wide receivers. It's very deep. But I do know what people are saying. After the 2nd round, I feel like there is a bit of a gap in ability. There's Javon Baker.
There is. But look, if you don't get a tackle in the first 2 rounds, look, Patrick Paul getting to here would be a steal. I don't think he even gets here. I think Patrick Paul could get in the first. So, I mean,
the way this draft fell, I don't think you could pick 2 better players like that. I would be completely fine.
Yeah, I mean, you're splitting hairs with, like I said, the 2 defenders we looked at.
You could have gone Guyton in the 1st round and then took someone in the 2nd, as opposed to.
Okay, let's do that really quick. Let's say, look, if we took Guyton in round 1, who could we have taken here? It would have been Jatavion Sanders or Ben Sinnott.
Well, it just depends on how everything else fell. There would have been one more name on the board, but who knows who it would have been or what position.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, the chances of it would have been Roman Wilson, the wide receiver, if another wide receiver would have not come off the board.
Dude, so that's another thing. Why are people so mad at a Roman Wilson pick? Like, I feel like that kid's better than people are giving him credit for.
I don't know. I wish this could have went ahead and did a full mock. I don't know why. I think it went by so quick.
They could have done 3 rounds, though.
Yeah, they could have done 3 or 4 rounds here because I believe everybody was actually into this mock. They actually did a good job of picking.
Right. So
Let's go through the teams and see what people got.
let's
and give them some
grade let's
scores.
grade them. Let's grade them. You want to grade them?
Yep. Arizona traded out of the first and took Leatu Latu, Quinyon Mitchell, Lad McConkey, Roman Wilson. So they took McConkey and
They
Roman
got
Wilson.
4
and
picks.
They traded out pick 4.
Well,
They
I mean,
let
that's
Minnesota
an
come
A
up.
draft. That's an A draft.
Yeah, they got the best. They probably got the best corner on the board. They had arguably the best edge on the board, and then they took a day 1 wide receiver in Lad McConkey, and then Roman Wilson. I mean, they're almost the same wide receiver.
Yeah, they took a clone.
You maybe should have picked a different, like maybe a Devontae
I'd still
Walker
give
here
that.
or
That's
something.
an easy A though. I think.
Yeah, I'd give it an A minus. I'll give it an A minus.
Okay.
The Falcons, they took Jared Verse, TJ Tampa. I think Tampa's the better pick here. I think Verse could be a bust.
Mm.
He's got some really tight hips coming around the corner.
Yeah,
but we'll
let's
see.
give it. They need defense though. So
Yeah.
whoever picked this knew what they were doing.
I'll give it a
I'd give
B.
it a. I'd say B plus.
Yep. The Bills, they took Graham Barton, Ricky Persall. That just screams Baltimore, don't it? Just solid at both positions, and they'll be
I thought you said the Bills.
no,
Baltimore. It's Baltimore. They took Graham Barton.
and Ricky Persall. They just got 2 guys that'll be in the league for 8 years and kill it. So good job.
Yeah, that's A minus.
A draft. The Bills, Xavier Legette, Chris Braswell. I think the Braswell pick's a little rich, but the Xavier Legette was a home run.
It is, but it isn't too. I love Xavier Legette, but I mean, you're still taking a risk there. He's a boomer bust guy.
Right. I think I give it a I'll say a B
minus.
Yeah, I'll go B minus too, just because Braswell's a little reach. The Panthers, Troy Franklin and Darius Robinson. Darius Robinson's a good value at 2.7. Troy Franklin, I think, is overpicked right there. Look, we do not like Troy Franklin here. Steve, why don't we like Troy Franklin?
Because he's MBS, guys. That's all he
looks
is.
Just like him, and he has a high drop rate. He's horrible.
He is MBS.
I'd give that draft probably, honestly, take a Troy Franklin right there at 2-1. I think that kills it for me. I'd probably give that one a C. Who was the other pick? I'd have took it. I'd have took the water boy.
Who was the other pick?
Darius Robinson. Can you not see him?
It's tiny. I'd give that one a C minus.
Yeah, I'll give it something like that. Okay, I'll say C. The Bears, they automatically get an F. You can't take Drake May over Caleb Williams, and you can't take Dallas Turner in the top 10.
You think they just didn't want to take Caleb Williams because he wore lip gloss and carried a pink phone the other day?
Who cares? This Goat House probably wears a dress to sleep. Who cares? Okay, after taking Drake May, like you botched this draft horribly. If I was a Goat House, obviously could not be a real Bears fan. He's got to be like a Vikings fan that hacked these guys.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. F for them.
That's an F minus. Cincinnati Bengals traded their entire draft away for Joe Alt. They went up to number 8.
Hey, they need offensive line. They've been ignoring it for a long time. I'll give them.
I don't think it's that bad.
Whatever, dude. I think that's what they need because most Bengals fans would have been like, "Oh, we got to replace T. Higgins or something stupid." Right. I think that's a smart pick. Yeah, they traded away their whole draft, but I would still give that an A.
No, I said, yeah, it's not bad. I give it an A.
Yeah.
I think you thought I said it wasn't good.
Hmm.
The Browns had 1 pick in the whole draft and took Edgerrin Cooper. You know what? I'm going to give them credit for taking a good football player and this didn't go crazy, sexy, and try to get like some.
Well, they also got great value on Edgerrin Cooper too because those linebackers fell quite a bit.
I'll give that an A. I'll give that an A.
Yeah.
Dallas, J.C. Latham at 24 was excellent value, and then Jalen Wright, and honestly, late second is good for Jalen Wright.
So the word on the street is there could be a Ezekiel Elliott Cowboys reunion. That's how bad they're hard up for a running back right now. So, I think that's a good pick for them. I'd give that an A.
Yeah, they took Jalen Wright over Trey Benson.
Yeah, I still like it though. I like Jalen Wright.
They took him over Jonathan Brooks, which we have Jalen Wright, our number 2. They took him over Jonathan Brooks, but Jonathan Brooks is coming off of an ACL.
Yeah, that's true, but he's good.
I'll give it an A. I think they got great value.
I think it's a good draft for Dallas, yes.
Denver, they had 1 pick, and they took Oli Fashanu. Pretty good value there. I didn't really know they needed.
Denver wasn't able to get their quarterback, though, and that's what they really need, so I'm going to go ahead and...
They should have went ahead and traded out of that pick. They should have traded down, got a second one back, and got Bo Nix. Hey, I would have took Bo Nix at number 12 over Oli.
I'm going to give them a C.
Yeah, I don't think it was that great. Detroit, horrible.
Traded up for...
You traded up for Brian Thomas Jr. You really didn't need him. And then you took Austin Booker, who is an undersized edge that is going to get
Yeah,
bullied. He didn't
it's a D.
test well. I give it a D.
Yeah. If they could have sit and got Brian Thomas to fall to them, then I would have graded this much higher.
Oh yeah, I don't like that at all. I think they could have set where they did and didn't trade up the board and took they could have set where they did and took Robinson and had a better draft than this.
Yep.
Like Brian Thomas, this just kind of feels just like the Jameson Williams pick 2 years ago. Like it just feels like dumb, like they didn't need it.
Right.
And I feel like Brian Thomas is also going to be just as disappointed as Jameson Williams.
Yep. Onward.
Green Bay, A.D. Mitchell, Kingsley Suamataia, and Jaden Hicks. That's a solid draft.
That's a good draft.
That's a very solid draft. Look at that.
I give him a A.
I think that gets an A for sure. Jaden Hicks just had a monster pro day too, so he's flying up boards. Yep. Houston Texans, they won some big draft stuff last year. Ennis Rakestraw and Braden Fisk.
That's pretty decent.
Not bad.
They got Ennis Rakestraw pretty late too, right?
Yeah. 4th pick in the 2nd round. So
I think that's pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, they traded up. They were the 10th pick, so they traded up for Rakestraw. I still don't think it's bad though.
Braden Fisk. I think that's a B+.
They traded up for both of these guys.
B+ to A-. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. Onward.
Xavier Worthy, Kool-Aid, and Kalen Bullock. Look, Xavier Worthy, why did you need Xavier Worthy? You drafted Josh Downs last year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Dude, this is Destin Adams, by the way, Steve. Does that name ring a bell?
It does. Why? Why does it?
L'Jarius needs a lock to the Colts. Trust me, I'm Destin Adams.
Yeah. Okay, now with this though, I'm with you. That had Josh Downs. You don't need Xavier Worthy. Why?
Kool-Aid's a good pick.
I like Kool-Aid. And who was the last pick they took?
Kalen Bullock, I think that's probably about where he goes, but I think it's a little reach.
I'm going to give it a
he also's probably
minus.
I honestly think Kalen Bullock's going to move to a
Actually, you know what?
too.
I'm going to switch that. I'm going to say C+ for them.
I'm going to say just a C, a flat C.
All right.
The Jags, they got their corner, Terrion Arnold. They got Chris Jenkins. That's not bad. I give that a solid B+.
Agreed.
I do think maybe Quinyon Mitchell, but Terrion Arnold is going to play very physical man-to-man. So yeah, I like it. It's semantics. Oh, who are these guys? Tavondre Sweat, Patrick Paul. Dude, does that not just feel like a weird Brett Veach kind of pick? Like nothing sexy, just big uglies winning games.
At this point in a dynasty, that's where you're going to win. You got to keep drafting for the trenches.
Hey, you got to keep Patrick Mahomes upright.
Yeah,
Patrick Paul, thank you very much.
And you got to put pressure on.
You got to put pressure on the QB.
Yeah,
Tavondre Sweat's going to do that.
What do you give in our draft, Mike? In all honesty,
look. In all honesty, I wish we could have traded out of the pick the way the board fell.
Right?
Would you take Tyler Guyton in the 1st and then maybe take a wide receiver here?
Potentially.
It's possible. I think Tavondre Sweat was good value at 32. I think that's right around his value. I don't think we reached. I don't think we. You know what I mean? I think we got him about spot on.
I think
I give it like a B, a B+. Yeah,
I don't know. I think we get an A-. I think.
Okay, A- B+. I'm fine with it.
I mean, you reinforce two needs. Like we are thin on defensive line and offensive line. So I mean, boom, and both picks were good. Yeah, and good value for both.
You're looking down here in round 3, round 4, round 5. One of these picks is probably going to be Anthony Gold. And you know you're not getting him to round 4 and beyond.
Right. Well, Chiefs fans, let us know in the chat. What do you grade it?
Oh, yeah.
What do you grade Tavondre Sweat and Patrick Paul? If the Chiefs went that in 1st and 2nd round, what do you grade that? I want to see what you guys think. I got it like an A-. Mike's a B+. So we're in the same ballpark. I want to know what you guys think. Is there anybody here that would be upset with that? What do you think?
Right.
Y'all let us know.
Chargers, Steve, they got Marvin Harrison at number 5, but then they traded up for Keon Coleman.
Yeah, see, it's too much. They went over the top.
I mean, you had an A+.
At 5. Getting Neighbors at 5 was excellent value.
Harrison. They got Marvin Harrison at 5.
Oh.
Yeah. They did even better.
Did they, though? I like Neighbors better.
But still, you don't have to trade up for Keon Coleman. I think the fact that they
traded up for Keon Coleman after taking Marvin Harrison Jr.
that kind of screws the draft.
Who was their other pick?
Kamari Lassiter. Decently solid. He did run about a 4. They said 4.62. Okay, I think it was wrong. I think he ran like a 4.57.
If you add in all the trade stuff, I'm giving that a B- to C because it makes no sense. But just the players that they got, I think it's an A.
They actually swindled the Redskins, not the Redskins. I do that every time. The Commanders. They got an extra pick in the second round, and they give up a third and a 2025 in which they just didn't even get the pick.
That's weird. I'm okay with that draft. I just think it's very silly that they traded up for Keon Coleman.
Look, I would have given it an A plus. I give it now a B because you traded it for Coleman. Yeah, that was just unnecessary.
Yep.
The Rams, they got Johnny Newton to replace. I mean, they didn't have a second round pick. What are you going to do?
Dude, Johnny Newton for them after Donald's gone. That's an A pick.
Yeah, I'll give it an A. Let's see who we got here. The Raiders, we know they took a quarterback at some point. Nate Wiggins, who I think at 18, I think that's a little rich. I don't love Nate Wiggins. Bo Nix is good. I like Bo Nix. I think he's going to be better than people think. Zach Frazier was good value there. So I give that probably I'll give it a B.
B. Yeah, B.
I'll give it a B. I think it's a B. Good job. Let me see. Where we at? Dolphins? Bro Schmo, he's going to have a good draft. Byron Murphy, Mason McCormick. Come on. That could be a little reach on Mason McCormick because that means he took Mason McCormick over. He took Mason McCormick over Christian Haynes, Christian Mahogany, Tanner Bortolini, and Zach Zinter. He took him over Zach Zinter too, who
bro Schmo, I'm gonna have to give you a B.
Yeah, I'll give him a B. I think Murphy was good value. McCormick, I think, is a little bit of a reach, but Bro Schmo does this for a living.
Yeah, dude,
maybe he knows
a lot. He knows a lot about these guys.
He loves McCormick, I guess.
Iron Price with the 5 bomb says, "How do you guys feel about our wide receiver room as is? I don't think a second or third round receiver is going to move the needle. Also, can I get a suck it?" Well, first of all, I don't think you're entirely wrong with that sentiment, Iron Price. I don't think it's going to move the needle drastically if they don't, if they do take one in the second or third round. I think that it's deep enough draft that you could get a pretty good receiver though in the second. As is, I'm not like I feel better about our wide receiver room right now than I did last year, tenfold.
Steve, are you with me on the sentiment? Because this goes with his question. So you wasn't here. I said that I had 3 tiers of wide receivers. Okay, Harrison, Neighbors, and Odunze is your top tier. And then I thought right in the middle in your tier 2, you had Brian Thomas and A.D. Mitchell. And then after that, you had your late round ones, which is McConkey, Worthy, Leggett, Coleman, and Ricky Pearsall.
Mm-hmm.
You agree with that? So after all those players, how hard is it to get a player that moves the needle after that?
Well, I've mentioned this guy a couple of times. A lot of people want to fight with me about it, and a lot of people don't like him. But I honestly think I don't know if the Chiefs would be interested in him. But I do think that Jermaine Burton is a first-round talent. I think that he could move the needle for a team if they can get him. He runs that mouth and he's got a little bit of an attitude, and that's what people don't like. But I feel like he's got the talent that he could be a sneaky good pick for somebody. But it is risky. I will say that. So, I mean, I think if you were to land like him in the second round, like late second round or early third round, like I feel like somebody might get great value out of that kid.
I think the way we drafted this, Steve, if we could have traded up in the third round, maybe 5, 6, 7 picks into the third round and took Javon Baker, you guys would have been fine with that or no?
I don't want Javon Baker. I think I decided that.
Oh, so you're just out on him.
Yeah, like I think he's okay, but I would probably be kind of mad about that pick. I'm like, I feel like how do I say this without making him sound terrible? Like, I feel like it would have the same effect as like a Cornell Powell pick. Like, it's like, I feel like he could be a big nothing burger. Like, it could be a wasted pick. But there's a small chance in there that he's good. But I just don't like his drop rate. I don't know, man. I'm not a huge fan of Javon Baker. I'm not. Like, I feel like at that range, I'd be happier with the Malachi Corley if they use him the way he's meant to be used, which we've seen with Sky Moore. They don't like to do that because they're kind of the same. Like, they're both yak guys. Get them the ball quick and let them, create yak. Yeah, I don't know, man. Not a big on Javon Baker, though.
Suck it! Suck it! They got 2 words for you! Suck it!
Okay.
Hey, I'm with you. He's got a drop rate, right?
Yeah. I was going to say, though, I think Tez Walker gives you a lot of upside, like in that range.
Is Tez Walker, though, and Javon Baker kind of the same guy?
No.
Yeah, I think they are.
No. I think Devontae
they
Walker's a much better athlete than Javon Baker.
Well, let's compare. Tez Walker 6'1", 193. Javon Baker 6'1", 202. Okay, pretty much spot on. Tez Walker had a 4.36. Javon Baker had a 4.5. So he's a little faster in the 40. He's got 1.55 to a 1.58 10-yard split. Okay.
He's a better athlete. That's what I said.
40-inch vert to a 37-inch vert. Yeah, he's a slightly better athlete.
Yeah.
Slightly better.
Dude, Iron Price. Appreciate the 5-bomb, brother. Y'all throw some suckets in the chat for Iron Price, baby. Let's roll.
Hey, let's give him another one.
Suck it, suck it. We got 2 words for you. Suck it.
Yeah, let's go. Let's get back to rating these. The Dolphins, we just give a bro schmo. I don't remember what we give them, but here we go. The Vikings, J.J. McCarthy, that was it. You know what? They executed.
I would give that an A.
I give it an A because they made the pre-draft trade. They had to make the move, and this guy stuck to it.
Well, look, this seems to be a common theme. And I'm not trying to toot our horns here, but it seems to be a common theme. Way back when everybody's saying J.J. McCarthy's going to be a late first round, second round pick, we saw more value in him than that. But now he's the hot pick, right? After his pro day and everything. Everybody's like, oh. But no, I do. I think that would be a great pick for the Vikings. I think Justin Jefferson would like it because he's probably not too happy with what's going on there. So I think they killed 2 birds with 1 stone there, man. I think it's a good pick.
Right. The Patriots, they sit tied at 3, took Jaden Daniels, and they took Tyler Guyton. I think that's pretty good.
Jaden Daniels and Tyler Guyton, that's good.
I think it's pretty good. I'll give them an A for what they needed to do.
Jaden, wait a second. Wait. I'm so confused. I forgot the idiot Bears took Drake May first pick because I was like, why did Jaden Daniels go to the
right?
Never mind.
Yeah. The Bears really just screwed this one from.
Yeah,
they screwed the pooch from the jump.
Good job, Bears. You suck in real life. You suck in fake life. You suck,
dude. They're just horrible in all lives. Here we go. Saints, Taliese Fuanga and Jalen Polk. That's solid.
That's pretty solid.
That's freaking solid.
Jalen Polk would be a good guy to pair up with Chris Olave.
Yeah,
too.
I give that one an A. Good job. The Giants, Roma Dunze. They took Rome over Malik Neighbors, I think.
That's questionable.
No, wait. Who did they do? Pick 6. Who was it that took?
Well, Marvin Harrison went pick 5. Am I right?
Yeah. So they took him over Malik Neighbors, I believe.
I don't like that.
And then they took Penix in round 2. I don't understand that one either. I don't like that.
So they just took both Washington guys, and I think that's gonna. No.
Yeah, they think they're gonna translate that over.
I'm saying C+.
Yeah, I think they kind of messed it up. I think they botched that one. The Jets, they took Brock Bowers. That was it. I think that's a good pick. I mean, come on. You got a probably top 7 guy in the whole draft. Good job. Let me see. Eagles, Cooper DeJean coming off a broken leg. Peyton Wilson, good linebacker. Cooper Beebe, solid. 2 guys named Cooper.
So, wait, they got DeJean and Beebe?
Yeah. 2
and
Coopers.
Who was the other one?
Peyton Wilson. 2 Coopers and a Wilson. And they took 0 guys from Georgia.
Let's hope the Eagles don't have that good of a draft because that's an A. That's almost an A+.
Hey, they took 0 guys from Georgia. Are they going to do that?
No, they're going to take Kamari Lassiter over DeJean. But no, I think this is an A+ for me. If any team picks this, that's killer.
That's a great draft. Cooper DeJean. I mean, it remains to be seen how he comes back off that injury, but I think
he's still going to be good. He's going to be good.
Steelers take.
Before we do the Steelers, we got a 5-bomb from our boy.
Let's go.
What's up, baby? Let's see. He says, so is Oladokin going to be QB2 since they gave Zamet jersey number 9?
Zamet Bobby.
I don't know what's happening here. Was that Oladokin's number?
No, Oladokin's 2. That was Blaine Gabbert.
Oh, Blaine Gabbert had 9. I don't know. I tell you this though, and I think Pops is the only other person I know that's kind of on board with me with this. But I think if Joe Milton is hanging around late in this draft and we can grab him to develop him, I like it. What about you, Mike? Do you think that is something that would you like to see the Chiefs do that?
Joe Milton's number 9 on my draft, on my quarterback board.
But a lot of people have him falling late in this draft.
Right. I think he's probably worthy of like 6th round, somewhere in that range.
If he's there, would that be beneficial for the Chiefs to have somebody, developing?
Look, if I've got Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, I always like the idea of taking a flyer on a QB and developing them,
Especially a guy that can throw the ball 85
right,
yards.
and see if maybe you can develop him and get better picks out of him. Maybe that 6th-round pick turns into a 3rd next year.
Or if he develops really well, I mean, you got like a solid young backup too.
So I don't mind it.
Okay.
But yeah, I appreciate
the
it.
5.
Zamet, Steve. By the way, people have been freaking out over
Horned up
Zamet, dude.
I mean, they're so horned up. Like,
dude, we were told that we
insane,
hated
dude.
life, that we hated everyone because we didn't think Zamet was going to move the needle.
Look, man, if Zamet comes in and plays like and puts in actual snaps, I would be super surprised. Like super surprised.
Me too. And again, 3-year deal.
We have people in Chiefs Kingdom on X that are out there putting out tweets saying he's going to take over RB1 over Pacheco, that he's going to have at least 800 yards rushing and lead the entire league in running backs with receiving touchdowns, and he's going to be Rookie of the Year. Like, and they're dead serious. Like, what the hell are we talking about here? Like, have we lost our minds that bad?
Yeah, people's lost their minds. You know what?
Crazy, dude.
It's insane.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. Appreciate the 5 HD Chiefs fan. Let's go back to here. Amarius Mims, Malachi Corley.
That's pretty good.
I think it's solid.
That sounds like 2 players that would definitely play with the Steelers. So I feel like they have their finger on the pulse. I'll give them A-.
Yeah, I'm with you. Seahawks took Toi Fatanu. Love it. Best tackle. He's not the best tackle. I'll think Joe Alt's still the best, but I think he's the 2nd best. I think with those 34-inch arms, he can play left tackle now.
And who is that? The only pick they got?
Yeah, he's got the best footwork I've ever seen coming out this year.
I give him an A. Good pick.
Yeah, they get an A. 49ers took Chop and Kieran Amagaji. I don't love these picks. Chop Robinson feels like he's too little in a way. He's got to be used in a specific way. He's not going to set the edge. He only had 4 sacks last year and 2 were against UMass.
Yeah.
That's it. And then Kieran Amagaji, they took him. Hey, he's a big project player, and they took Amagaji over Patrick Paul.
Tamagotchi.
Yeah, I don't love this one. I give this one like a C.
Tamagotchi?
Yeah.
It's my Tamagotchi.
C. I'm going to see myself out of that one. Yeah, Tampa Bay, Jackson Powers Johnson, Marshawn Nealon. Look, they were trying their best to get rid of that Marshawn Nealon pick. I don't think they were sold on it, but that's about
I'm
where
not
I see
sold
Marshawn
on the Marshawn
Nealon's
Nealon
going.
pick, though, either. I'm not sold on that.
I actually think JPJ, that's about right for him. There was a report to come out today, Steve, that said teams wasn't big on JPJ the way all the internet people were.
I like him. I don't know why they wouldn't be.
Yeah, they then prefaced it by saying he wasn't a top 25 player on big boards in the NFL. Well, congrats. He's not anybody else's either.
Right.
But there's 32 picks in the first round.
Yeah.
I give it about a B plus.
Yeah, I like it. Let's go. What we got?
We got 2 teams left. The Titans, Malik Neighbors, Jordan Morgan. Again, they could have had Joe Alt. I don't know who would have been there in the second round.
Dude, the fact that they passed on Joe Alt and they could have got a receiver, like a 2nd-tier receiver, I'm giving them a C. Like, they got good players, but I'm not. No. Bad decision.
Yeah, I feel like you have to protect.
Bad decision. Joe Alt's like a can't.
And they just brought in. Well, look, they just brought in one of the best
here's my
tackle or offensive line coaches in the game.
Well, let me ask you this: what's more likely? What's more likely? Jordan Morgan turns into Joe Alt, or a later, say, Roman Wilson, Ladd McConkey, somebody like that turns into a better receiver than Malik Neighbors, production wise. Right. It's more of a chance that happens. So I don't like the way they did this. I'm gonna give them a C.
Yeah, I think they did it backwards. I really do.
Yeah, same.
The Commanders, they got Caleb Williams at number 2, and then they took Mikey Sandstrill. Yeah, I mean, come on, you get an A, by the way, just because the Bears sabotaged the whole draft.
Yep. Greg Slayton says, I'm glad you got your monetization back, but a YouTube commercial just interrupted your golden voices. Hey, it's okay.
Dude, that's the first one you've had? I'm surprised they haven't put a bunch of them in there.
I know it's kind of annoying for you guys watching, but the more that we can make monetarily on this channel, the more content and better content we can do. So I would say it's pretty annoying, and I understand because I hate when the YouTube ad comes on when I'm watching a video, but we appreciate you dealing with it for sure. It does help.
Yep. Steve, well, we got our chance to be Brett Veach today. And
well, there's been a lot of chat since then, but we asked for people to grade it. So I'm going to scroll back up and I'm just going to see what people graded our picks.
Look, this kind of is a good exercise to show what happens on draft night, though, right? Like, no matter how much you think what's going to happen happens, it can all be thrown off in an instant.
Right? Either my internet went out or yours.
I think you froze pretty good. But what I was saying is on draft night, this was a good exercise to show that like what we thought could be there, it just got blown up quick, right?
That's true. So we took.
And when you only get 2 minutes, that's tough.
Right. Well, I mean, looking at what the ACU crew says here in the chat, Mike, we got a B plus or an A, B plus, B plus, B. You got I think that over a solid A from Pops. We got Pops approval. I think the common sentiment is if the Chiefs were to be able to do this, I don't think people would be mad.
No, I think you got to pick your poison here. If you're Brett Veach, right? You've got to look at it. You've got to say which group is deeper. Which group do you have to get? Like, where does the defensive line, defensive tackle, edge, is that as deep as wide receiver? No. Is tackle as deep as wide receiver? No. So you may have to grab your defensive line and your offensive line early, or you're just going to have inferior players unless you think you can just throw a dart and hit a guy down the board and you're just spot on with it. Sadly.
Yeah. We had a Raiders fan in the house. He says, "We're coming for you, Chiefs." Man, so they're trying. They are trying. I think that the Raiders actually did something right for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, I thought Antonio Pierce hire was good.
Yeah, the hire for Antonio Pierce was really good. I thought they would screw that up. I honestly did. I thought they would end up trying to go after Harbaugh or something stupid, but I like that they gave him that job. So are they coming for the Chiefs? They're trying, but they're still a ways away, I think. I mean, they can beat us at any given game. We saw that last year at Christmas, but I think overall they still got a ways to go.
Iron Price says I got muted. That sucks.
Hey, he sucked it too much. He said,
"Who muted you?"
He just it says Iron Price says Mike doesn't like the suck it.
I didn't mute nobody. Matter of fact, I'll give you one right now. Here you go.
Suck it, suck it. We got 2 words for you. Suck it.
There you go. That's for your mute.
Hey,
I don't know who muted you.
Yuck Food Tube just came in. Good to see you, buddy. He says that Pierce is going to be like Mike Brable. I could kind of see that.
Hey, a lot of people was wanting this, Steve. A lot of people wanted me to do what the Bengals did and give up our whole draft for Alt. Would you have been fine with that?
If it was possible to trade our second round pick and our first round pick to get up to high enough to get Joe Alt, absolutely. But
you'd have to give up our first next year too.
Yeah, you'd have to give up way too much. But yeah, Chucky, I appreciate this sentiment, but I just don't think it's possible for the Chiefs.
If we could,
unless they want to give up too much. I mean, I just don't think
Alt would have fell a little bit further. Where did he end up falling in this one? Who took Alt?
The Bengals at 6, I think, or something like that. Is it 6?
Oh, it was the Bengals. It might have been 8, actually.
Is it 8? I don't know when.
Yeah, they come up to 8. So look, for us to get up to 8. Yeah, look, the Falcons traded that out for their first and their second. The Bengals wouldn't even have been able to get up there for a first and a second. They'd have had to give up a first round next year.
Iron Price. We got this one. If you sent another one, it didn't come through, man. If you're seeing it on your end, I don't know why. I don't know what's up, buddy. Let's see here. Chief Kelsey says Chiefs tried to trade up and even back last year, but no takers, kind of like this draft. So I say B or B minus. Tried to trade but couldn't. Yeah, we definitely wanted to trade out of that. But you know what? It's going to be like that in real life too. There's not a whole lot of teams wanting to play ball with the Chiefs right now. People are sick of the Chiefs. They don't want to help the Chiefs do anything they want to do. They don't want to contribute to them getting a good draft pick. They don't want them to have a good draft. So I don't think a whole lot of teams will be willing to deal with the Chiefs unless they think they're fleecing them.
Yeah, do you kind of feel like everybody's just kind of like over it? They're like, I'm not going to be the reason the Chiefs trade up and get somebody good. I bet you the guy
exactly.
Look, if the Lions didn't come up and take Brian Thomas there, I guarantee you nobody would have took our trade.
Probably not. Yuck Food Tube says alt for a 2024 first, second, and next year's first is worth it in his opinion. Do you think if a team would take that to get up and get Joe Alt, would you be willing to do that?
I think it probably takes more than that, considering that the Chiefs are going to pick bottom 3 or 4 in the first round every time. So you're basically just giving up 3 second-round picks.
Yeah, that's the thing. I
You
don't
gotta
know.
get into the
I don't
top
know if anybody
5.
would go for it.
Like, I don't think John Alt's fallen to number 8. So I think you have to get up to Chargers. The Chargers aren't going to trade with us, so now you got to get up to the Cardinals. I don't see it. I just don't see it. I just don't know.
Brian Parrott, I think Mike Vrabel's still available right now. I don't think anybody picked him up.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's getting to be more offensive league. I think coaches like Vrabel are not like sought after. It's just my opinion. Why do you think Belichick couldn't even get a job?
I think the league's changing a little bit. It kind of surprised me that Harbaugh got the job, knowing that he wants to come into the Chargers with Justin Herbert and what they've been doing, and he wants to come in and start like running the ball now. It kind of feels weird, right?
Iron Price, this 5-bomb came through. We appreciate you, buddy. He says, you guys think Andy's approach with the rookie wide receivers change after the Rashee Rice experience? Probably not. I think Andy's always going to be cautious with him. I think it takes him a while to learn his offense. I think this year kind of changed things up because he had no other choice. I think the wide receiver room was so bad that he knew they really had to make Rashee Rice work to win a Super Bowl. And that's exactly, let's be honest here. We would have never had the postseason run we had if Rashee Rice hadn't turned out, if he hadn't developed so quick. Because Rashee Rice was good from the get-go, but he wasn't like game-changing really up until about 6 weeks left in the season. And that's when he started really turning it on, and Chiefs knew how to use him. I think that it does open his eyes up a little bit that a rookie wide receiver can be effective early, but I still think Andy's just a type of guy. He's pretty set in his ways with good reason. I mean, Andy's been the greatest coach in the league. So, I mean, I don't see him coming off of it too much, but if they take a first round receiver, if they were to really invest a first round pick in a receiver, I think Andy is going to use him next year.
Yeah.
Be it Ladd McConkey, be it whatever. I think he's especially someone like Ladd, because Ladd's kind of plug and play. So, I mean, it's a possibility, Iron Price, but I wouldn't, if they take a second round guy or something like that, I wouldn't expect to see a whole lot out of
Steve,
him.
if we would have truly did what I wanted today, if this was truly just been me, I was taking Ricky Pearsall at 32.
Hey, Mike, I wouldn't be mad at you.
Look, Chucky has a good point. He said, I think with the change of coaches in our division, we might want to beef up the defensive line and the run defense. Tavondre Sweat. Again, Harbaugh wants to run the ball. Antonio Pierce wants to run and be physical. And then who's that leave? Sean Payton with no quarterback. Right. So now they've got to run the ball. So, hey, I think Tavondre Sweat could definitely counteract that, right? I like it.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's good. Again, I don't think you could be wrong with either of those picks. There's a reason I feel like the Chiefs come out with a thing yesterday about Tavondre Sweat, though.
Why?
I think he's on their short list.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's there too. I mean, anybody that they show interest in, the Chiefs have a history of picking guys they interview and things like that. Like if they show interest, there's usually, where there's smoke, there's fire usually with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly. So now they will pull one out of their butt every now and then, but.
Yeah, they've done that. But yeah, Chucky, that's a pretty good observation actually, because didn't really think about it at the time. But you're right, man. I think our defense is trying to get a little more like run, they're trying to get less cute and more like physical.
Yeah. Chief Kelsey says that he thinks the Chiefs, what they would have to trade to get up to get Joe Alt would be an overpay on the value chart probably, and he's probably absolutely right. Like 100%. I just think the Chiefs would have to overpay to get up to get Joe Alt.
Yeah, they would. They'd have to. Macca says, ACU crew, please hit that.
Let's go, baby.
Take a moment, hit the like button. Yeah, do that
hit
for
that
us, guys.
Freaking
appreciate
like
it.
button.
Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We appreciate it.
For sure. Gary Holland asked what we think of LSU's quarterback, Jaden Daniel. At first, I was like, this guy's just so skinny, and I just don't know. Like his size really threw me off. I think he's pretty good, though. I think he'd be solid. I definitely think he ends up at the Commanders at number 2, right? Like, there's no way he's going any lower.
Yeah, I mean, they could. I mean, if the Commanders done something crazy and took J.J. McCarthy or Drake May,
I don't think they will, though.
Yeah.
I think they have their eyes set on Jane Daniel already. I think it'll be okay. It really just depends with a lot of these quarterbacks because I think Sam Howell's probably decent, and he didn't look the greatest there. He still was the lead leaguer in yardage at one point last year. So, I mean, I don't know. It just really depends on their scheme and how they use them, to be quite honest.
Hey, if you guys listen to podcasts, Spotify or Apple, find All Chief Thoughts podcast. I just threw up our top 10 QB rankings up there. So it's a good hour-long QB show if you're interested in what we think about the QBs.
Yeah, I bet that was tedious considering we don't need one of those.
It was. It was very tedious. And also, I recorded it by myself because you were at work. So I was like, well, screw it. I'll just do something today. And yeah, so I'm just talking to myself for an hour. And it's wild, dude. If you want to hear about quarterbacks, there you go.
Chief Kelsey says he gave the draft a B- to a B, but now he's changed his mind. Instead of change of heart, he thinks it's a B or B+, baby. He's on board. He's on board with it. Appreciate you, Chief Kelsey.
I'll tell you. I mean, I think B+ is fair. I don't want to toot my own horn.
Right.
I do think there was some. It's not really called. It's not shortcomings. I don't think, but it's one of those things where it's like It's why drafting's hard, right? It's like which position do I need to value here,
right?
You know, and then if it's like, well, you may want to value offensive tackle, right? But if that one guy that you love isn't sitting there, because we don't know what the Chiefs think about Tyler Guyton, we're not 100% sure. I've seen it in the chat. No, he would definitely take Tyler Guyton. We love Oklahoma guys. He'd definitely take. We don't know. He'd definitely take anybody.
Yeah, it's hard.
Like
to judge.
Like, have you talked to Veach today? Because I haven't.
Have the Chiefs talked to Guyton?
No.
Yeah. See,
so
that's
far,
always.
no.
I mean, they could.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, we don't know. So I mean, that makes it so tough. And then I don't know. It's pretty wild, man. I like to do the mock drafts. They may do another one of these. I'm not for sure, but if so, they probably won't take it. Who was the fella that come in and asked?
Someone tried to take our spot.
Yeah, the fellow that come in from X and said that we should have took Brian Thomas Jr. His podcast was supposed to take the spot, and they offered it to us. I don't know what the podcast is. I don't know. But yeah.
Randy Ellenberger?
Sounds familiar.
Chief of the North. Randy Ellenberger.
Yeah, see, when I heard Chief of the North, I was like, Seth Kaiser?
He has an NFL Draft Chiefs Kingdom podcast called Kingdom Recon.
Okay.
Never heard of it.
We'll have to check it out.
Yeah, we'll have to check it out.
I guess he could have wrote us a message, and I'd have probably just let him pop down in here and talk to us about the draft.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't have minded.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been fun, man. I think I'm going to scoot, though. I think it's time for dinner, and it's time to hang out with the fam and enjoy ourselves.
We got on here a little early tonight due to this, but I was thinking that too. I was like, Steve's going to get on, but he's going to want to get off kind of early because he's coming straight from work and probably is hungry.
Yeah, man, it's been a day. Tomorrow's Easter. Everybody have a happy Easter. It kind of Easter sneaks up on me because it's always different. Like, correct me if I'm wrong here, but Easter, because of Passover and all of that, is it always the Sunday after the spring solstice, like after the first full moon? Is that why it changes every year?
I'm not for sure because I didn't think I always thought Easter was in April. Am I wrong?
I think what it is they go off the biblical thing. So like Jesus, the crucifixion and the resurrection was like the first weekend or whatever passed when they had Passover, right? And they try to do that now. I think it goes by the first full moon or something like that.
Right. So it's just something to do with the months and days.
I think that's it. I can't figure it out. But Easter always trips me up. But I hope you guys have a good Easter.
Yep.
Have a good time. Have a good time with your family. Take the kids out. Let them hunt some eggs and have some fun. Taja took the girls out egg hunting today at some places, and Dom got to. So, yeah, y'all have a good time. Go eat some good food. Hang out with the fam.
Are you gonna hard boil those eggs and eat them?
Man, deviled eggs are delicious, though. They are. But no, I think we'll be working on a lot of content tomorrow on our Easter. That's probably what we'll be doing. So
Probably.
yeah, keep an eye out for all the new content coming up this week. We'll try to do some extra live streams and stuff if we can. We're getting closer to the draft. So also,
got a couple new top 30 visits that we need to talk about.
We got some new top 30 visits. We also probably released our top 100, our big board this week.
Probably do a mock draft this week too. Our second
we will.
mock draft.
Yeah, we're going to update our mock draft. So keep a lookout for that. If you'd like more draft content, if you love the draft content, patreon.com/allchiefedup. You can join over there. There's been a lot of draft content there that you guys haven't got to see yet. So go hit that. Also, if you'd like to buy some merch, if you like to look fresh and some ACU merch, get over to merch.allchiefedup.com. Buy yourself something sexy over there.
I like it.
I like it too. Hey, you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button on your way out if you haven't already. Also, subscribe if you have not subscribed to the channel. We appreciate you guys. All you guys that donated, super chats and everything. Can't thank you enough for that. We appreciate you. Throw some legendaries in the chats for yourselves down there. And y'all have a good night.
You have a good one. Go Chiefs.
Aside from my soul.